MMQB, high school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan. Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And here we go on a Friday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. Bobo, we have done it. We have navigated our way here to the final day of January, which coincides with it being a Friday. What's going on, buddy? Happy weekend to you.
Happy weekend to you, Beam Machine. Excited to be in here. Excited to see a dual victory last night for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Love a good 6:30 tip.
Yep.
Hopped into that thing after my son's practice. Oh, a little 10-point lead. How's that feel?
Feels great.
Good. You know what feels good is when they're growing it, growers and showers. So I got to see the show at the beginning, the growth again at the end. And then, unfortunately, I did not make it up for the end of that Jackets, the 10 p.m. local.
It's good till the last drop.
It was, and it was tremendous. So getting an early win against a good team on that 4-game road trip, if you can scrap out one more win, that would be pretty sweet.
And too, if you can do it tonight and get your first
back-to-back,
second leg of the back-to-back done this season, that would be good. Yeah, so our guys,
like Utah's right where you are. I mean, there's teams.
Yeah, they're 6 points back of a playoff spot in the West.
500 squad. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the NHL jammed between like 48 and 58 points. So
yeah, for sure, man. So it was a great night for the Jackets, still getting the overtime winner. Like I said, good till the last drop. Puck was bouncing all kinds of crazy different directions in front of the net in that overtime, and Cole Sillinger there to put it in, which is great. It was pretty amazing. So Jeff Svoboda tweeted this out before the game last night. This was 7:15 our time. NHL team leaders in 5-on-5 goals. Jackets are the first in the NHL, actually, with 116 goals, 5-on-5 this season. The Vegas Golden Knights are second in the NHL with 115, and then he tweeted, so of course tonight will probably be a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
It was 1-1, and then it ended up being 2-1, so it goes against everything you said. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Who are the top coaches in college football? We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. It turns out if you sue your own conference, they're going to pay you more money. We'll get into that coming up here around the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour. But it feels like a monster offseason incoming for the Bengals, doesn't it? So we'll get into some of their situation going on a little bit later on in the 7 o'clock hour. Then starting at 7:30, I mean, we have a ton of fantastic guests for you today. 7:30, as always, Austin Ward, he's going to join the program. I did not get a chance to talk to Albert Breer yesterday. He was in Mobile down at the Senior Bowl. He's going to join us coming up here top of the 8 o'clock hour. 8:17 this morning. Greenville's native son, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Matt Light, offensive lineman for the Patriots. He's going to join us, like I said, 8:17. He's got the Matt Light, the Light Foundation, which is really cool. I was reading about it this morning, Bob. He's got some cool events going on, especially here in Central Ohio. There's one coming up in May. So we'll get a chance to talk to him at 8:17. And then from one Super Bowl champion to another Super Bowl champion, we hop from 3-time Super Bowl champion to 1-time Super Bowl champion, A.J. Hawk. He's going to join us, as always, coming up here at 8:30. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Friday. It's January 31st, the final day in January 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Roberto, what do you got lined up for us today, buddy?
Here we go. It is Friday, January 31st, the final day of the month. Sharks' final January employed at the Fan.
Just blew on by.
Really did. Blowing doors, Shark. It's going to be an ING weekend for you.
Ooh.
It is the 31st day of the year, 334 remaining in this 2025. This date, 1865, the United States Congress passes the 13th Amendment to abolish slavery. That will then be kicked down to the states for 3/4 ratification. 1949, These Are My Children, the first soap opera ever aired on NBC. It was a 15-minute daily show airing at 5 p.m. It started on this date and ran through March 4th. So almost like a little mini-series there, Beamer.
These Are My Children? Was All My Children a shoot off of that?
I was looking at that because All My Children was my mom's favorite.
Same.
And I mean, I could tell you some general plot lines and characters. I watched a decent amount with her. Not to my knowledge. As I was looking at that, I did not see any reference to
No
it.
overlap.
I didn't, so unfortunately, no. But this date, 1970, the Jackson Fives. I want
Better after listening.
Oh, some young Michael Jackson right there. I mean, just so incredibly talented. Pretty remarkable. 1974, Ray Kroc, the owner of McDonald's, buys the Padres.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he owned them for a little bit. He bought them for super cheap, sold them for pretty cheap. If he would have held on to now, that would have been probably his best investment to date.
McDonald's is a pretty good investment.
It is. Not terrible. This date, 1976. The Ohio Play. Love roller.
Players.
Love roller coaster hits numbers and mash. That's a good one. Absolutely tremendous right there. Are they from Ohio, Shark?
No idea.
All right,
Guessing they
off to
are.
Google we go.
Ohio players. No idea, Shark. Good for you. 1988 Super Bowl 22 with the Redskins over the Broncos 42-10. Doug Williams, the MVP.
The Super Bowl was Timmy Smith's right now moment.
He'll hand off to Smith, and he's back. Good hole. Midfield. Horse race to the 40. Far side 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Here comes Timmy Smith again over the left side. Good hole. That should just about do it. Timmy Smith go over 200 yards. Will be the single game rushing leader in Super Bowl history. That's got to do it.
Most valuable player of Super Bowl 22 is quarterback Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins.
The first black quarterback to start a Super Bowl, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm besmirching Doug Williams, but I mean, if you have a guy that set the Super Bowl rushing record, you think that they might be in the running for MVP.
You know what's interesting about that game?
You watched it, Shark. I
They
did.
trailed early, and then Doug Williams, I think he had 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter. Anyway,
second quarter?
they had 18 offensive plays in the second quarter, and they scored 35 points.
Sounds pretty good to me.
By the way,
5 touchdowns on 18 plays.
That's called an explosive offense.
yeah, it is. Ohio players, Dayton, Ohio.
All right.
There you
Just
go.
like the McCoys.
Perfect.
You know the McCoys?
No.
Hatfield
You ever-
McCoys?
Have you ever heard of this song? It's our state rock song, Hang
Hang
On
On
Sloopy.
Sloops?
Yeah. Didn't know that.
The McCoys.
Bad
Dayton,
job.
Ohio.
Bad job.
They
doing
call Dayton,
history.
Ohio, the new Motown.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Never heard that before.
Well, it's
They
also
call it
first
the
in
land
flight.
of kings.
Land of King. Dumb Kings. 1993, Super Bowl 27 in the first edition of what was a repeat the following year. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 52-17. Troy Aikman is the MVP.
In the biggest game of his career, Troy Aikman delivered an MVP performance. Aikman passed for 273 yards and 4 touchdowns, 2 of them to Michael Irvin.
Irvin jumping, diving, touchdown! Oh, what a play!
The Cowboys' defense never gave Buffalo a chance. Ken Norton knocked Jim Kelly out of the game in the second quarter, and the defense forced a Super Bowl record, 9 turnovers.
The Cowboys are back on top of the mountain now. They were there in the 70s, fell off in the 80s. They're back on top now, and they should stay there a while.
You say 9 turnovers? Ooh.
That's is a rough situation there.
I don't know.
And then Baldwin,
That
about
will never-
30 years later, shot that guy.
That will never be beat in a Super Bowl. 9 turnovers?
Bob, they scored 52 points. They should have scored 59 points.
Oh, yeah, that was Leon Lett dancing on into the end zone. Don Beebe running him down. Little Alec Baldwin there, Beamer, on the deal. And then this day, 2020, the UK pulls out of the European Union after 47 years in there.
Known more commonly as what, Bob?
The EU?
Brexit.
The Brexit. Oh, yes. The Brexit. Some birthdays today. The man to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Jackie Robinson, born on this date, 1919. Nolan Ryan, born on this date, 1947. 11-time strikeouts leader, 7 no-nos over 3 decades. Cole, how many Cy Youngs did he win?
I don't know. Let me go to Mike, too.
You're not allowed to answer this, Shark. I'm trying to. This is a quiz for Cole.
It's either a lot or a little. I don't know. I'll go 3.
The correct answer is 0.
None.
Hall of Famer, 7 no-nos, 0 Cy Youngs. It's amazing he didn't stumble into one.
No hitters in 3 different decades.
Couldn't get a Cy Young, though. It's one of the more remarkable trivia questions. Mini Driver turning at
Hang on, don't you want to hear the Nolan Ryan highlights?
Yeah, let him.
A tough play. No hitter for Nolan Ryan. Breaking ball, and that's it. Strikeout number 4,000 for Nolan Ryan.
A 2-0 pitch. Fly ball, right field. Rivers and foul territory for no-hitter. Number 6 for Nolan Ryan. Arnsberg's pitch. Fly ball, center field. This should do it. Pettis makes the catch, and Nolan Ryan, his 300th career victory. That's it. Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
Look at that. Nolan Ryan getting it done. Mini Driver turning 54 today. Star of About a Boy, Good Will Hunting.
It is actually important that I learn this. It's really important.
So why don't we just hang out here all day?
Yes, why don't we? Seeing as you're intent on breaking my balls. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a photographic memory?
I don't know. I just kind of remember, you know. I mean, how do you remember your phone number? You know, you just do.
Well, have you studied organic chemistry?
A little bit.
Oh, just for fun. It's so much fun studying organic chemistry. Are you mad? You completely lost your mind. You know, there are very smart people here at Harvard, and even they have to study because this is really hard. And yet, you do it so easily, I don't understand it.
She's great in that movie.
She is really good. I love Mini Driver.
Ricky, Tommy, Johnny, Terry, Bobby. Can you do that again for me? Ricky, Tommy, Johnny, Bobby, Terry.
That's
Name
so
all
good.
your 9 brothers.
You have an orphan?
It's really solid.
Oh, it's great. Kerry Washington turning 48. Justin Timberlake. I told you to get something from Saturday Night Live with JT. I really wanted to hear that today.
Well, Bob, I ran out of time. You know, I only have that studio till 10 o'clock, and then Bob Taylor comes.
You have all night.
I have other duties when I come in.
You're cutting up sound that no one's going to hear. The stuff we give you, we're
Bob,
actually going to play.
You gave me 10 names. I only have
I
time.
specifically asked for Justin Timberlake SNL.
It's never enough.
It's not.
It's just never
because you
enough.
cut meaningless sound that no one in the ONN
Cold
network ever
takeover.
uses.
I've quit.
You're not allowed to quit yet. We own you till July 11th. Vernon Davis turning 41. Some holidays and observances today. It's Appreciate Your Social Security Check Day, Shark.
Nice.
You better start praying that thing comes, or I might steal it from your house. And when you get older and delusional, I'll have you sign it over to me, and I'll take all your stuff and own your assets.
Why is Grandpa sending me birthday checks every month?
Exactly. It's Gorilla Suit Day. It's International Zebra Day. National Seth Day as well. Scotch Tape Day and Street Children's Day, Shark, for you. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, January 31st. The final day, the final Friday of the month, and 334 days remaining this 2025.
Good job on that, Bobo, as always. Who are the top 10 coaches in college football right now? That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no major crashes that we're watching, but definitely a wet Friday morning commute. Watch for foggy and wet conditions on the west side coming in on I-70 and on the southeast side on 33. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health. a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hey, it's Anthony. I got to tell you, when you don't have the support you need, it affects everything. Feet, knees, hips, back, even your mood. I finally went to the Good Feet store, and once I was personally fitted for my arch supports, I felt a ton better. I will never wear another pair of shoes again without sliding in my personally fit Good Feet arch supports. That's because they help me eliminate my foot pain. It's such a good feeling knowing that I can be on my feet and not worrying about I'm going to wake up with low back pain or feel a weakness somewhere. I trust the Good Feet store because for more than 30 years, they've helped thousands of people just like me get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. They take pleasure in that. And it's their personal 3-step system designed to support, balance, and strengthen your feet that guides them into their ideal position. I'm the proof. I wear them every day, even when I'm biking at the gym. So go in, take the free test walk at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say.
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Some showers will linger into the day, otherwise expected to be a mainly cloudy day. Temperatures soar in the mid to upper 50s to even low 60s. We'll see those daytime highs today drop very quickly overnight. As colder air rushes in, we'll see chances of rain and snow showers overnight, and then chances of rain taper off for Saturday, which will be dry but cool with our daytime highs in the 40s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, good news for everybody out there. Today, sun's going to rise at 7:40 in the morning. Going to set at 5:50. We're officially over 10 hours of sunlight here in Central Ohio. How's that sound for everyone?
It sounds pretty sweet, Bean.
We're on our way back up.
Day. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
Now it's raining right now, but we'll take it.
I don't think Beam knows that song, Bob.
I've seen lonely times where I couldn't find a friend.
You know
Shark.
that song, Beam?
But I always thought I'd see you, Shark, one day, baby.
One more time again.
Well, you guys aren't singing it. You're just saying the words.
Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, I got it now.
Who sings it? I've seen sunny days.
He used to be our PD here.
close. Same initials.
Same last name. When you make it up.
James Taylor.
There you go.
Job.
All right.
Good job, Beamer.
We did it. Yeah, I saw that. A little early juice for me. 10+ hours of sunlight today. In 2 months, we're over 12 hours.
I might go, what do they call that, Shark? Sunbathing? You sunbathing today?
I forget what that is.
Can you do it in the rain?
It's going to rain. It's going to be 60, but it's going to rain.
That's okay. We'll take that.
Well, you're talking about that 7:40 sunrise. We're not going to see the sun.
Yeah, but it's going to be up.
Light.
It's up there somewhere. You may not see it like we did
Someone
see
else
the
told us,
glowing
Shark,
orb yesterday.
Here comes the sun.
Do.
Oh, there you go. Beams on that, Mr. Beetle.
Yeah, I like the Beatles. I like James Taylor too. I'm not familiar with
Fire
as
and
much
Rain.
of his cat. I know
It's
that
his
song.
most favorite.
I know that, but I'm not familiar. I don't have as much of deep track knowledge of James Taylor as I do the Beatles.
I mean, outside, Shark, of the chorus line on that, like, I've seen Sunny Days that I thought would never end. It has to be the most famous line that James Taylor's ever sung. No?
I don't know. I can't answer this question. I'm not a James Taylor guy. Stop looking to me for answers
Are
about
you
it.
Larry David over here?
I just can't tell you.
Hey, I'm not a big James Taylor guy.
I'm not a big James Taylor guy. Big Beatles guy, though. I saw this from On3. They were ranking the top 10 coaches in college football. I want to take a guess at who's number one.
Curbs.
Yeah, Curbs.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, speaking of
Larry David.
Curbs is number one, obviously. Won a couple of national championships.
He's won 2 national titles.
I mean, the Dogs were not that great this year. They got beat by Notre Dame, but they'll be back. And I know money down there. Yeah, Kirby Smart's number one. Ascending the throne would be one Ryan Day from Ohio State. He's ranked at number 2.
Let's walk the steps, Beam.
One of 3 coaches walking around in college football now to be an active national championship
It feels
winner.
so good to say that.
Doesn't
because
it?
that was always, I mean, it was a fairly large hole, but it was like the only hole in his resume. He'd been to so many playoffs. He's been to a national championship. On his way to this national championship, he was able to clean up his record, which was like 2-7 against top 5 teams, and like scratch that out to 500 by beating 5 top 5 teams this year after Oregon.
Like one of the best seasons of all time against top 5 teams.
I think I'll win them all. We'll just get back to neutral here. His record against top 10 is ridiculous, and it was just, can you get that national title? Can you get it? And now that you have it, there's 3 guys who walk into their building every morning in college football who say, I've hoisted the trophy.
Can you touch this?
100%. You get to do full Tim McGraw in Friday Night Lights, Beam. Riding. Do you think Ryan's riding in the back, holding that trophy? Just
he's get
drunk and throw it out the window.
Duct taping players' footballs to their hands.
They didn't fumble. And
No, he didn't.
Trey didn't fumble in 4 years.
That's pretty strong. A pretty good effort.
Strong to quite strong, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, has that ever happened with the amount of volume that a player like him has got before? I mean, it's got to be one of the best records in Ohio State history,
it's
right?
It's not even a real thing. And it's amazing because I think he was fumbling some in practice. And, that was a deal early on. And, I mean, he never lost a fumble in a game.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, all the plays, all the times that we see these guys going for punches, Bob, or you run into somebody, or on the off chance that you get injured and drop the ball. Just things happen in football, and for that to happen is pretty incredible. So Ryan Day clocks in at number 2. Sark actually clocking in at number 3. And then here's where the discourse comes. Kalen DeBoer is number 4.
Come on.
I don't know. I'm not there quite.
He's been to a national championship. However,
it's a fact.
Not exactly.
Lost to Vanderbilt this year.
Yeah. Who else?
Lost to Oklahoma this year.
The Oklahoma loss was like the one that was the nail in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he did beat Georgia.
True.
Almost gave that away.
Georgia got beat by Notre Dame.
They did.
So, how far has Dabo fallen?
He's that would be 5th. They made the playoff this year.
Dan Lanning is 5th.
And they looked.
And where is Marcus?
Marcus is 6th.
All right.
Poor Dabo. They made the playoff this year.
Dabo is down to 7.
I mean, they made the playoff, and they actually played Texas about as well as anyone has played anyone. I mean,
Texas had a goal line stand there. Clemson was going to punch it in to go down 1 score. I think Texas was up 14, Bob. I think Clemson had a 1st and goal at the, 4-yard line, something like that. They were unable to punch it in. That game, Clemson punches that ball in. That's an entirely different feeling game, game. Maybe Clemson all of a sudden gets a little bit of a boost. They have a 3-and-out on Texas's offense. They're able to do something. But then Texas got the ball back, was able to kind of march down the field, and a la the Penn State game, just kind of kill it off with first downs. It was a much different feeling game. But yeah, so you got Kirby at 1, Ryan at 2, Sark at 3, Kalen DeBoer at 4, Dan Lanning at 5, Marcus Freeman at 6, Dabo at 7, Brian Kelly at 8, James Franklin at 9, and Josh Heupel at 10. The Tennessee man.
That sounds right. I will tell you this. I would put Dabo Swinney above. I would put him right there in that 5 hole or maybe 4 hole. Who was after Ryan?
Kalen. Sark was at 3. I'm okay with Sark.
I would put him at 4.
Sark's cool being there with
Sark's been there twice in a row, but Dabo with what they did this year, I would put them at 5.
They did a pretty good job. I mean, they were dead to rights.
He played in 4 straight. He won 2 in a row, and he's getting in the portal a little bit now. I think he's going to build it right. Just minimal.
I think that hurt him when they decided to go into the portal.
You mean when he's a conscientious objector?
Yeah, because they didn't do it at all last year. They didn't bring one guy in for the portal.
Yeah, there were 4 teams in the NCAA who did not bring in someone in the portal. Can you name them?
Army, Navy, Air Force, and Clemson.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So, Shark started laughing. Literally. That was like our
service academies and Dabo.
The Coast Guard doesn't have a football team.
No, they don't. I bet they'd be pretty good, though.
That was Jacob Hester and I's running joke all year on off campus. There are 4 teams who didn't bring in anyone, not a soul. 3 teams that you're not
Why aren't guys transferring into Army?
I don't think you're allowed to transfer into Army. I think that's how that works. I want to skip my first 2 years that really suck and just come in for the
good times.
Come in for the glory hole, as Jerry talks about.
It's true.
It's not all smiles and glory holes, Beam.
Well, no, it's illustrated by the Pacific, which I've been watching, which is...
How's that going for you?
It's a great show. It is very grim.
It's a little more depressing.
A
little more depressing than...
don't get me wrong, it's great, but
it's an accurate representation.
Yeah, it's straight up awful.
Yeah. Masters of the Air kind of middles it a little bit.
Okay.
So you'll be able to come back.
That's an apple? That's an apple thing?
That's an apple plus.
Okay.
It's also very well done, very good. It kind of hits that sweet spot in the middle between the gruesome reality of war and the optimism of Band of Brothers, with a nice victory, and you get to see the end and the happy times.
No optimism in the Pacific. Trudge.
The optimism is that we win, but we have to bomb them to do it, because now people realize if you go watch the Pacific, folks, you'll realize why we had to drop an atomic bomb on Japan, and then why we had to drop a second. It's we're not going to sacrifice any more American lives taking these islands one at a time. I remember studying in school island hopping. That sounds like a great plan. Just take them over one at a time. But every beach is
mini Normandy.
Mini Normandy every time. You get dudes just sprayed down every time. This is brutal.
It's been awful.
Against an enemy that refuses to quit.
Hey, it turns out that if you sue your own conference, they're going to pay you more money. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes that we're watching, but definitely a wet Friday morning commute. Watch for busy traffic on 71 into downtown and on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Getting cold feet? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team.
For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up 1 hour away from right now, Austin Ward. He's going to join us as he always does on a Football Friday. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. What is going on with the offseason? Defensive coordinator, perhaps replacement for Jim Knowles. What's going on with that? We have had an interview for Justin Fry. I think it was yesterday, Bob, in Chicago with the Bears. So
it's Fry time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward with the Buckeyes. But Austin Ward, he's going to join us coming up here at 7:30 this morning. I found great. I don't know what the right word I'm looking for is. I found great humor and intrigue in this story.
Fun and drama?
I found great fun and drama in this.
Those were the words you were looking for. Baby.
Remember, guys, if you take anything away from this show, let it be fun and dramatic for you. I'm reading this on ESPN.com, all right? It's an ESPN.com
If you want a lot of fun
story.
and drama, there's things that we would like to talk about that Antonio Brown posts on his Twitter, so go to that.
Yeah.
It's a great follow.
Sometimes we're not allowed to talk about the stuff we want to talk about. ESPN, again, I'm reading this from ESPN.com. ESPN has agreed to pick up its option to continue broadcasting ACC sports through 2036, the network and conference announced on Thursday. The agreement is a critical step towards securing stability for the conference. With the television deal settled, the ACC is now working toward a settlement with Clemson and Florida State that could end those schools' ongoing lawsuits against the conference.
They're in surge, the school's in rebellion.
If you don't remember this story, was this from the summer or the spring, like last year at this time?
Yeah, it was this, not this time. It was a little bit later, I think.
Yeah, I want to say spring. It was like springtime last year.
Yeah, time when things were dead. Like, you know what?
Let's sue the ACC.
We went into the Library of Congress and read the Declaration of Independence, and then they went beside that and read the ACC contract because you weren't allowed to take it out.
Which is more binding.
While you weren't allowed to take it out of there, they said, like, reportedly, you have to, like, go in. You're like Gandalf out there, like reading some stuff in some sort of wizard lair.
In the Library of Minas Tirith for 17 years, trying to find where the ring's at.
You're not allowed to leave, and probably no devices, Beam. You have to take a notepad in there to just
a scroll,
hand transcribe. It's actually a tablet. Give you a little chisel, and and they're like, well, we're going to sue and try to get out of this and see if we can break our grant of rights deal.
Yes, so that happened last year, where Clemson and Florida State were suing the ACC to get out of their deal. Now, they had always said that, well, we will stay in the ACC if you pay us what we deem to be our fair share in market value. We're the big dogs in the conference. Don't let piddly old Pittsburgh or, take your other ACC team, Georgia Tech, get in the way from us making the money. Now, we saw what happened with Oklahoma and Texas.
Lebowski.
You know, like we saw it with them. We're the big dogs in the Big 12. We're going to hop to the SEC and get our fair share. ESPN had until February 1st to pick up the option on a 20-year contract that it signed in 2016. That's the albatross in the room right there. That's a 20-year grant of rights television conference. TV deal for a conference.
It's a long time.
So they picked it up. They had until Feb 1 to do it. They did it yesterday. Had ESPN declined the partnership, would have ended after the 2027 season. After ESPN agreed to pick up the option, a decision the ACC Board of Directors voted to approve on Wednesday, sources said the conference is working on additional, quote, value adds, which include creating more marquee matchups in football and men's basketball to maximize content on the networks that would help pave the way toward new revenue distribution model and a settlement with Clemson and Florida State. So the way that they're going to do this, the negotiations surrounding the option ran in conjunction with the discussion between ACC, Florida State, and a new rev distribution model aimed at alleviating the school's biggest concerns over financial disparities with peers in the Big Ten and the ACC. Under the proposed plan, the percentage of the ACC's television revenue would be included in a, quote, brand fund. That money would then be distributed to schools that annually generate the most revenue for the conference in football and men's and women's basketball. Clemson, Florida State, Miami, and North Carolina are likely going to be the top of that pyramid. So what they're doing is having everybody in the same conference. They're settling the lawsuit between Clemson and Florida State. They're getting them back on board for another 10 years. And at the same time, they're going to a wholly unique model in college athletics, which is that, okay, we're going to see what your revenue is at the end of the year. And based upon the revenue that you bring in, we're going to pay you more for what you're worth. So first of its kind to my knowledge. I mean, we talk about all the time, like, why is Northwestern making the same amount of money as Ohio State, right? Or pick your random Big Ten school, but I feel like that's a pretty solid example. Like, what are you doing out there? Are you trying? Like, I know they're building their new football facility, but what are you doing? And this is what the ACC is going to now. Like, bring in more money, you're going to make more money. Is that fair or not? It's definitely different from what we've seen in college athletics for forever.
Yeah, and that's how it usually works. The problem is, though, Florida State hopped on this when they were on the precipice of it looks good when you're going to go to the playoff. When you're winning 2 games, it doesn't look quite as good. And so they're looking at bringing in dollars in to try to figure this out to get out of it and everything, and obviously, make some changes. But I'm curious to see how much more money they get. What does that ultimately look like, Beam? When they're suing this and they settle, because nobody wants to be in court, with your own conference, how does that ultimately look? And so that's something that's going to be very, very interesting as they move forward to try to figure that out.
So as a part of the settlement, Clemson and Florida State are asking the ACC to agree to reduce penalties for exiting the grant of rights after 2031. So it's not, them trying to leave the conference is not done, but they are staving it off until after 2026 and moving that, I guess, by 5 years down. So we could technically be having the same conversations 6 years down the road of the grant of rights being done, and then...
Well, you don't want to lock yourself in for too long because
they already did.
Well, they did that a long time ago.
Yeah,
you can't go back and undo it.
Years ago.
And so you can't... They're trying to get out of that. I think they would like to get out of that. I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of that. And so it's the next thing is like, how can we get more money and not shackle ourselves to this bed for the next, this wall for the next 10 years? Like, let's see if we can find a way to slither on out.
I mean, the best part about this is Notre Dame is in ACC athletics just about in everything else. And then in football, they said, we're good. We're going to stay on our own. It was a great coup by them. It was a really good job.
Yeah. And you sue your conference. Like, this is the one thing when you have a bad deal. Like, the Big Ten's never really had this. Now, Ohio State could be in here and be like,
sure,
if they want to rattle some cages and be like, listen, we just played 4 games and brought in all this cash to the conference. We're seeing basically like 10% or less. It's really broken up, however many teams, whether it's 16, 18, how many teams are in the Big Ten?
18.
And so we're not seeing our share of this because it goes to everybody. And listen, Oregon chipped in, Penn State chipped in a couple of games, Indiana got a game in there. And so, I mean, of all the money they brought in, Ohio State's seeing effectively 10% of that because there were other games that were obviously played. But instead of the $20 million that Notre Dame got, Ohio State's getting like 2.4. It's like...
Yeah, Notre Dame gets to keep that all themselves.
Yeah, we take Simone Lebowski. Like, why? They want more of it. And it should be like, well, we're sharing with everybody. Ohio State is going to be in the playoff more often than not. I'm guessing they'll at least win 1 round almost every year, probably 2. And then, so with that, it's like, well, we're going to be the ones bringing the money. Like,
cha-ching. Every round you advance.
Why are we sharing this with Minnesota and Purdue and whoever? Like, by the way, we're running a deficit right now because we actually spend money on our sports to try to win. And just because you don't do that, then you shouldn't get those dollars to keep.
I did see this, too, from the Big Ten Conference. You're a finance guy. Can you explain this to me like I'm a finance guy? Can you explain this to me like I'm 5? The Big Ten Conference is taking preliminary bids. I was reading this from Sportico. Preliminary bids from private equity firms, despite past comments from Commissioner Tony Petitti questioning the upside involving institutional capital in college sports. According to multiple people familiar with the situation, the conference previously retained investment bank Evercore, which solicited a first round of indicative offers from private equity firms this week, just before a key deadline in the House v. NCAA case could fundamentally change the economics of college athletics. So I guess the Big Ten is taking on investment bankers from private equity funds, a la what we just saw in the NFL with them allowing private equity funds to get in and own certain percentage of teams. So it sounds like the Big Ten is opening up for business, Bob, with these private equity funds that is allowing them to purchase a percentage of the actual conference and their revenue.
Well, Is the Big Ten looking at that on a conference?
A conference wide.
For individual schools or for someone to buy part of the conference?
The conference.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen this on a school email or a school level for individual schools and athletic departments potentially doing this, but I had not heard about this on a conference-wide level looking into that.
I find that to be extremely fascinating when I saw that.
Well, you're buying revenue
yesterday.
streams, and just like this, people talk about Ohio State, and I'm like, you're like, oh, look at all the money they make off parking. I'm like, they really don't make anything because they sold all the parking rights to Campus Park because they needed cash. This predates anybody that was there now. They had this big, $2 billion raise campaign or whatever it was, and they needed to make some more money on it, so they sold the rights off to the parking. They sold the rights off to something else too, and it's like when you begin to sell off your rights, like Learfield owns all of the media rights.
Yeah.
Like you could do that in house and make more money, but you just have to be good at it instead of subbing it out. But instead, they've taken a road that was easier, and it gives you a guaranteed cash flow, and you don't have to worry about it. But in doing that, you also forego the opportunity to control it to make any changes you need.
I feel so bad for the New York Yankees. We'll do that coming up in Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes that we're watching, but definitely a wet Friday morning commute. Watch for busy traffic on 71 into downtown and on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with the sound of freshness. With new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items, so you save on all the crunch, all the flavor, all the just-picked goodness you love. Surround yourself with savings every time you shop with new low prices on apples, carrots, lettuce, celery, and more. Enjoy fresh savings on fresh produce at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get old, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-208-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Celebrate women in sports. Join Ohio State women's basketball on Sunday, February 2nd for a special Women in Sports and Alumni Night. The Buckeyes take on Washington at the Shot. Be part of this great evening and get your tickets at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Maybe our fan poll should be, which private equity fund do you want to invest in the Big Ten? Because this article I was reading from Sportico, Bob, said in June, CBS Sports reported that the Big 12 was considering an $800 million to $1 billion investment from CVC Capital Partners in exchange for 15 to 20% stake in the conference. I want you to think about this, Shark, in retirement.
Give me those numbers one more time.
$800 to $1 billion.
Yeah.
$800 million to $1 billion in exchange for a 15 to 20% stake in the conference. So that would mean that the current valuation, if you pay the $1 billion for 20%, would be $5 billion for the Big 12. That's the quick math on that.
Okay. I mean, that sounds about right. When you look at it, $500 billion? Or...
I mean, the Big Ten in 2023 posted a $880 million earnings.
Okay.
Almost $1 billion a year. And that'll probably jump, too, because I think the new media deal kicked in the year following.
So I could see that. I mean, if you're looking for an instant influx in cash, I mean, that would be it.
Let's get the PIF involved, Shark.
Well,
Big Ten sponsored by Live Golf.
And that's where, like, you start bringing these dollars. Like, are they foreign sources? Are they domestic sources? Do you want to sell off part of your when you sell stuff off like this, you bring in private equity, you lose control. You begin to lose control. Now, they would obviously still own a majority share, but there's a reason why these companies are investing in this, because they feel the return back. They feel the returns are there. So, do you need this short-term cash that badly? Like the money in the immediacy, do you need it now? Or can
J.G. Wentworth.
Well, it's my money and I want it now.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of what it is. So, I mean, there's that element to it.
It's fascinating. Fascinating new frontier in college football.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky, how you doing over there? Friday,
I'm doing
you and
great.
Cole hanging out?
Cole's in here shadowing me today, training. Came in at 2 o'clock. You know what he just said? Man, I'm getting tired.
No, you can't do that, Cole. You can't yawn. You can't say you're tired here on this show. Can't do it.
I'm toughing it out, barely.
Good for you.
I think it's funny, actually. Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham.
I wish I was playing DN for the Eagles.
He was back at practice yesterday. Pretty amazing since he suffered a torn triceps in late November. Graham thought his season had ended, but since Philly made it all the way to the Super Bowl, he could be back. He still isn't sure he'll play against the Chiefs next Sunday, but said he'll try everything he can to be on the field in New Orleans. Torn triceps, Beam. I mean, and just over 2 months ago. Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, too, I mean, how many more opportunities are you going to get to play in a Super Bowl, right? I mean, you look at Brandon Graham, he's 36 years old. You tore your triceps, you're trying like hell to get back. If the opportunity arises that you're able to play in a Super Bowl, I mean, he's obviously in his waning years, and maybe this is going to be it for him. They win the Super Bowl, he's gone. I don't know what his contract situation is, but it's a good job from him. It's a good job by the Eagles staff in getting him ready to rock. Now, if he can't play, it's still a pretty remarkable turnaround, and he will be a key piece in what will be a possible Super Bowl winning championship team for him. But yeah, what a great story that would be. I mean, guy hasn't played since week 12 in November.
What year is this for him?
Well, he's 36 years old.
Say, I played against him. Like, he's
in the 2010 draft.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Year 15 for
There's
him.
only a handful of dudes that are still left in the league.
I mean,
from when
you're
was
like 50 years old.
Exactly. I wish I was. Then I'd walk out with you, Shark.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty remarkable to think about. He's obviously not as productive as what he once used to be, but he's still a heck of a player and a leader on that team. So I'm sure his guys would be all fired up to have him suiting up and ready for combat next Saturday against the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be huge. He's a veteran leader. He's played there his whole career. He's played in big games. They've been in Super Bowls. He's played in a lot of championships. Like he's a guy that you would want to have out there if he can go out and play and provide value. Now, if he's going to go out there and be one-armed Willie running around, like that's not a great thing. But, if he can go out there, you don't want him to be Commodus Beam as he's getting stabbed, throwing that limp arm up there at Maximus. But if he can get out there and provide some value, like that would be a huge, huge asset for him.
Bob, you were born 20 years too early.
Why?
If you started playing in the 2020s, maybe you wouldn't have as great a chance of dying of CTE.
No,
I'm not joking. I don't mean to joke about that.
That's fine. I'd make jokes about it all the time, Shark.
The NFL this season recorded its fewest concussions since it began tracking in 2015. 182 concussions during regular season games and practices. Regular season and preseason, I should say. That is a drop of 17% from 2023. Bob, basically 22 weeks of preseason and regular season. That's 8 concussions a week.
You know how many concussions A.J. Hawk and I have registered in college football and the NFL? Yeah.
Not recorded any.
No, don't give me this recording stuff.
All right.
Listen.
What's that test like? What do they do?
What do you mean, the concussion test?
Give me the test.
I just don't go talk to you. I get up and walk away. Like, that's how you avoid getting tested for a concussion.
Yeah, but now things have changed since you played. Now they got an eye in the sky
because
that dude
you've got to be cognizant that you are. It's like being drunk. You've got to know that you're drunk to be able to identify your interactions and be able to, like, pull back from the matrix and three-dimensionally see yourself. It's kind of an interesting concept.
Like an out-of-body experience?
Yeah, you got to be like, how am I feeling? Like, how are my emotions? What am I doing? As I stand up and I'm walking, and like, you got to be a good teammate and realize if the guy doesn't want to report it. I know that we're like way past this now in life, but I mean, I got one bad when I was playing in Detroit, and it was during Dallas. I felt like it was kind of a Caddyshack moment. I'm like, God is not going to destroy the greatest game of my life coming back here and beating the Cowboys just after I got a pick six. On the next subsequent kickoff, I got blasted, and it was terrible. Anyway.
Did they shine a light in your eyes?
No, I didn't go in. You kidding me? One of my teammates, I'll keep his name out of it so that he doesn't get implicated. And I was like, walk. He's like, carp. And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, yep, let's just keep on walking. And I told guy, you just pull on if you get hit really hard, just pull down your shoulder pads and like lean into your chest like you got the wind knocked out of you and keep walking around. And when the doctors come, you say, get the hell out of my face or I'll give you a concussion. I'm good. I got the wind knocked out of me.
Get out of here.
It's fine. Listen, I've made my peace with that. Like, I knew the risks of everything. Like, it's fool's errand to think that, like, you're going to suffer significant brain trauma and it's not going to hurt. That's like saying I blew my knee out and then complaining about getting arthritis when you're older. Like, what are we talking about?
Everybody knows, right?
I mean, I watched Muhammad Ali. I saw what he looked like. I mean, I see all these boxers and everything. Like, you be smart about it, but also ultimately, like, you make a trade-off for something you love doing and the financial security that my kids are going to provide. And hopefully that when it's pudding time with Joe Biden and Grandpa, they're going to come over there and they're going to feed me that pudding, Shark.
And you're not going to pay him any money.
Yeah, I told you, I'm going to burn it all.
I don't have anything else to say. Bob did a pretty good job on that one.
I know that's like, I mean, you can talk about these numbers.
I'm just
the numbers have decreased. I will say this, probably technology and the helmets are better.
Yeah.
The oversight is better. But like, someone looking out and seeing you get a concussion is not stopping you from getting a concussion. We do realize that, correct?
Yeah.
Like, the eye in the sky only is reactive. This isn't Vanilla Sky or Minority Report where they think the concussion's coming and they can just stop the play.
Right. For decades, the Yankees had the largest payroll in baseball. Not anymore. The Dodgers are exponentially ahead of everybody else, and the Yankees aren't happy about it. At least their owner isn't. Hal Steinbrenner says the way the Dodgers are spending makes it difficult for other teams to keep up.
I mean,
Come on, man.
L.A. has spent more than $450 million guaranteed money this offseason. Total payroll will likely exceed $500 million in 2025. Steinbrenner said most owners can't do the things the Dodgers are doing. Beamer, listening to Steinbrenner complain is like listening to Bezos complain that he can't keep up with Elon Musk.
It's outrageous. I saw the story, and immediately the thought that came to mind was, what an outrageous thing to say out loud. You can't say that. For forever, we talked about the Yankees and the bloated payroll, and wow, how are teams going to be able to keep up? And look at how many World Series they're rattling off. And you pay guys like Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Mark Teixeira, all on the same team. For years, you were that team. And now you want to yell about what the Dodgers are doing unfair? Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't have time for it.
Exactly.
Don't have time for it.
When you were poaching CC Sabathia, did you feel bad about it?
Yeah. Well, you better spend more. I feel bad for you about
Manny
that.
Ramirez went to Boston. Do we feel bad about that? When all these players from all these teams in Middle America left and went to the coast to get more money, were you passing out tissues then? This is unjust. We need to figure this out. You know what the sad thing is? You're not the richest guys out there anymore. And now people have come into baseball who just have gobs of money and say, I want to win. And if I just break even, that's good enough for me.
Look at Steve Cohen with the Mets, too. I mean, right across town from you. They're spending more than you are, too. So, yeah, I don't feel bad for him at all. They are the number one winningest team since 2013, though. Nothing to show for it. Shark, who is the second most winningest team?
That would be your Cleveland Indians / Guardians.
That's correct.
12-year span.
It's great. I'd take being 10th and have a trophy or a pennant or two.
We got a good old-fashioned all-Ohio sweep last night across sports. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching crews clear up a crash on the southeast side. This is on 33 right at Columbus-Lancaster Road. Expect to be slow moving through that stretch this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Get it right with help from Right Rug Flooring. Thousands of styles are in stock and ready for next day expert installation. Like carpet starting at $219 a square foot installed with pad. And luxury vinyl starts at only $399 a square foot installed. Unmatched value with 24-month financing available. Visit a showroom or schedule a free in-home estimate today. Get it right with Right Rug Flooring. Your beautiful new floor is right here, right now.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Now, look here. These teeth,
yeah?
They're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster.
Rawr.
Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
All right, fellas, let's tackle the age-old question. What do I get her for Valentine's Day? Don't stress. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company and get 25% off your entire purchase. Books flowers are fresh, vibrant, and last way longer. Some are even grown on the side of a volcano. Don't wait. Valentine's Day is February 14th, so get your order in now. Go to Books.com. Use my promo code CANTY for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
Get more of the NFL with NFL Plus and start streaming more touchdowns, more hurdles, more action. Just a tremendous play. NFL Plus has you covered. Stream the NFL postseason and Super Bowl 56 live on mobile. Touchdown! Plus, stay connected throughout the offseason with special coverage of the NFL Scouting Combine, NFL Draft, and more. Let's go! Yeah! Subscribe today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark Bishark. 4 of Ohio State's 5 starters reached double figures as the Buckeyes nailed Penn State 83-64. John Mobley, Bruce Thornton, Devin Royal, and Micah Parrish combined for 63 of OSU's 83 points. The Blue Jackets beat the second-best team in the Western Conference to begin their 4-game road trip. Cole Sillinger scored 52 seconds into overtime, giving the Blue Jackets a 2-1 win over the Golden Knights. Adam Fantilli scored in the first period for Columbus's other goal. The win moves the Jackets into 8th place in the Eastern Conference, good for the second wild card spot. Back in November, the Cavaliers lost back-to-back games to Atlanta. Cleveland got some revenge last night, whipping the Hawks 137-115. Darius Garland scored 26 points, Donovan Mitchell 24, and Ty Jerome added 20 off the bench as the Cavs improved to 23-3 at home this season. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, The Fan. If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Hour 2 for us here on a Football Friday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter. We got Sharky with us as well. Coming up here this hour, 7:30 this morning, Austin Ward, he's going to join the program. And then 1 hour away from right now, Albert Breer of the MMQB. He's going to join us. We'll talk all things going on across the NFL and how his trip was down at Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the Master Griller.
We got Matt Light coming up. Patriots, 3-time Super Bowl champ. Greenville native son of Ohio, going to be joining us at 7:17 as well, or 8:17 as well. AJ Hawk, 8:30. I mean, it is an action-packed 8 o'clock hour.
Robust.
Folks. Starting really with the tour of our guy, A-Dub Sports, at 7:30. From 7:30 on, you better buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a wild ride.
All gas, no brakes, for sure, man. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure it's the most... Anytime you have a guy with 3 Super Bowl rings, it's pretty good. It's the most Super Bowl rings we've had on a show in one day.
Well, between the 3 of us, we'll have had 3 Super Bowls.
That's 4. What are you talking about? Well, yeah, between me, you, and Matt Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between Matt Light and AJ, they got 4 of them.
Oh, yeah. Big Super Bowl show today.
Yeah, for sure. Are you looking forward to the Super Bowl next week?
I am, because I'm going to Guantanamo Bay, so I'm excited to be down there.
Your tour of service.
I'll tell you what, it's nothing better than watching a Super Bowl like in a military bar. You know, it has a little
story last year that you had about some lady or some dude getting, as my grandma likes to call it, schnockered.
Oh, they throw up on themselves? Is that
I think that sounded right.
Yeah, we were watching that Chiefs. Who did they play? Chiefs who last year?
It was the Chiefs and the... Oh, my God, Bob. Who was it last year? Why am I blanking? 49ers.
49ers, yeah. And... You know, there's people in California, and they were in there watching. It was snowing a lot around Fort Sill that day, and they're closed the base. And they're like, she's like, I'm going to be drinking hard today. I'm like, all right, let's do it. You know, and they're talking. Everyone wants like the private commentary of the Super Bowl. Like, why are they doing this? What is going on here? And it's just fun sitting there talking to them. And yes, one of our fine service men and women, one of them got a little overserved and maybe threw up on themselves and then abruptly left.
We've all been there.
That's what I said. I'm like, listen, it's all right. I mean, it's a judge-free zone.
Tried drinking Washington apples over at Johnny on Glen.
I mean, it's a little bit
before Christmas on December 23rd.
It's a little bit like it has a real hard deck feel to it, Beam. You know,
I haven't had a Washington apple since that.
It's good. Well, maybe it's your time. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Return. Oh man, the best part was I was right near our house, so we just walked home after that. It was great. Had a great time over there. I've been back there, just haven't had a Washington apple. Buckeye men's basketball team last night took down Penn State 83-64. Good first half, dominant second half, and then all of a sudden, Bob, you extended that double-digit lead that you had going into halftime. Refs were god-awful last night.
I can't blame the shot clock fiasco on them.
Yeah, but every time down the floor there was a foul being called, and it was egregious.
But when you make your free throws, that's not a terrible thing.
True. Don't look now. Buckeyes, 3-game winning streak.
Don't look now. Jake Diebler, 8 o'clock next Wednesday in studio. This is where you come for all the big news, folks.
Long tease. Hey, you get that win Sunday against Illinois. By the way, they got beat by Nebraska. Nebraska ball took them down yesterday.
That's exciting. But if you get 4 in a row like that for Deebs, those are 2 big wins with Purdue and Illinois.
Bob,
it gives you a little bit of breathing room there. I don't like being on that last 4 in line.
They have 3 wins, 3 Big Ten road wins in January. The last 2 years, they had 2 total.
Yeah, honestly, this is a February team, so we should be good to go.
Right. They can navigate February and then the Big Ten tournament.
It's been the January slump. That, like when you lose 5 of 6, 7 of 9, it was brutal. So I'm feeling pretty good right now, to tell you the truth.
Feeling pretty solid. You knock off Illinois up there in the Champagne Room on Sunday, I'll feel awesome. I'll feel really good.
Yeah.
So that's coming up here. It was a good victory from them.
Shark always tells us it feels better in the Champagne Room.
Facts. That's what he says. That's one of his creeds to life. Here was Deebs after the game.
He said it's a real crafty situation, if you will.
Here was Deebs after the game, what he liked most about his guys' performance last night.
The 10 turnovers. You know, we just, Ace Baldwin is about as good as a defender, right, as we will see really all across the country. And we schemed around that, to be honest with you, at times. We tried to get him off the ball at times because we have such respect for him and his defense. So for us to have 10 turnovers, that's kind of number one. And then number 2 is 5 defensive rebounds for John Mobley Jr. You know, we've been pushing our guards to rebound better on the defensive end. It helps us play a little faster. It was Bruce last game. This game it was him. Mike has been pretty consistent there, but you know I thought he really stepped up. John Mobley did.
He's playing really, really well at the minute. I think they're 10-4 when he scores 10 or more points in a game too. The true freshman sensation. John Mobley Jr. So it was a great performance by them last night. Again, at Illinois Sunday at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock coverage will begin for us right here on The Fan. And if you didn't stay up late enough last night, the Jackets were in Vegas taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Jackets first in the NHL with 116 goals scored in 5-on-5 situations. Vegas was second with 115 goals scored on 5-on-5 situations. Searcy or Jeff Svoboda said it's probably going to be a 1-0 game, just given the circumstances that both teams are high-flying. 1-1, no goals in the second or third period. We get to overtime, and then Cole Sillinger putting in a rebound. Jackets get it done 2-1 on the road in overtime against the Golden Knights.
It's Jackets time.
Here was Dino after the game, how they went into Vegas and accomplished what they wanted.
One of our keys was to try to be a frustrating group tonight. And, you know, that meant not opening things up. It meant not giving them any life. It meant making it a boring game. So if that makes, it makes it look like it's a little bit of a slow start, fine. We're okay with that, right? I mean, if we can, stick around in games like this and buildings like this and teams like this, then it says some good things. And yeah, did we get better as the game went on? Yeah, but we stayed the course of what we were trying to do as a team, and we've been doing as far as giving ourselves a chance to be in games and obviously get to overtimes and shootouts and what have you. It's a good sign.
Make no bones about it. I mean, it was a monster win last night because they have yet on the season to win a second leg of the back-to-back. So they're in Utah tonight. 8:30 coverage will begin for us here on the Fan. I mean, that's a late night in Vegas, Bob. You're getting acclimated to Pacific time. Then you're going into Mountain time. The Pacific. Great show. Terrible show at the same time. But it was monstrous for them to beat one of the Western Conference's best teams on the road in a pretty hostile building.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas is a good squad. I mean, they've been good since inception. And what else was great is the fact that you get Fantilli going again. You know, he scores a goal.
Silly coming back, scoring a goal. It's great.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get some of your dudes who you need to be offensive threats. Sillinger coming back. Fantilli is continuing to build this momentum and continue to play well. And, I mean, the real question that no one asked, Dino, is what show did you catch last night?
Right?
I mean,
Shark, you cut up his press conference. Did anyone ask him what show he caught on Wednesday evening?
No, but I have to believe it was Cirque du Soleil.
He said it on our show.
Show. And there are, about 4 Cirque du Soleils in Vegas?
I've never been to one.
I've been to a couple.
How are they?
Oh, they're really good.
Eat mushrooms before it?
I saw Beatles live at the Mirage, which is no longer in existence. I thought you were saying you saw them at the Sphere. No, I didn't see them. Half of them were dead, Bob.
I know that.
What else did I see? I saw another one at Treasure Island.
It's Treasure Island.
America's favorite treasure hunt. Jackets back in action tonight at Utah. And your Cavs won last night, Shark. 137 to 115.
Oh, man.
Straight up clean sweep for us last night.
Living good last night. On a Thursday night in Columbus. Can't beat that.
Ohio State women's basketball in action Sunday against Washington at 5 o'clock. They embark on a pretty grueling road trip, too, because they're at UCLA and USC next week, and both of those teams are in the top 5. So let's get this win against Washington at home on Sunday.
Get that, yeah, then you're rolling. You're rolling.
Feels like a monster offseason incoming for the Bengals, doesn't it? We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching a big crash on 33 on the southeast side. This is right near Columbus, Lancaster Road. Both those east and westbound lanes impacted, but especially eastbound as you're heading into the Lancaster-Pickerington area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You'll find low prices on thousands of items. The yellow and red tags mean you'll save big on sparkling ice water, Kroger brand chips, and so much more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Make 2025 your year and finally feel like yourself again. Don't just set goals, allow Affinity to help you support them. The people at Affinity Whole Health, they're experts in GLP-1s for weight loss therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So you can rock 2025 with a sustainable weight loss plan and more energy, increased muscle, and better sleep. It's all great. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com and turn your resolution into reality. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Have you ever told a friend
Oh, I'm fine.
when you really felt
Just so overwhelmed.
or sent a text
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
when you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Showers overnight, tapering off as we go into your morning. We will see some sun, but mainly cloudy with some isolated showers throughout the day. Mid to upper 50s to even close to 60 degrees this afternoon. For tonight, we'll see some chances of rain and even snow showers overnight, giving way to a cooler Saturday, but dry. Temperatures getting right around 40 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here 1 hour away from right now, Greenville's native son, Matt Light, 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's going to join the program, talk a little Super Bowl, talk about what he's got going on, all kinds of good stuff. So he's coming up 1 hour away from right now. And then at 7:30 this morning, Austin Ward in our next segment will join us coming up here to talk some Buckeyes. What are you getting into this weekend, Bob? You got a busy, robust schedule. How's Caleb feeling? Is he on the mend?
Little bit. I think he's going to be at school today.
Okay.
We had 3 boys out. RJ was the first to bounce back. He went back. They're all out Tuesday. RJ went back Wednesday. Cullen went back Wednesday afternoon. He was still a little warm in the morning. Took a nap. Go back to sleep, wake up. All right, you're good. He went to basketball last night. He's good. And then Caleb was, he was still like rocking over 101, 102. And then Court was like, well, and then he went to measure his temperature again. He goes, it was coming 94, 95. I'm like,
oh, that may be worse.
I said, I think you have a better chance of surviving a +4 degree temperature than a -4. I go, you might be dead. Then she goes, now that just leaves me to wonder, because he was in a lot of pain. She's like, was that underrepresenting the top part of it too? Like, is the thermometer broke?
Could it have been higher?
Could it have been higher? Like, because I was like, I go, unless it's 105, like, we're not taking him in.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to give him fluids and stuff. I go, at 105, like, let's have the discussion. He's not a baby. He's 8 years old. Like, he's a man. He can do 15 pull-ups, even though he's a child.
Man-child.
He's a man-child. Like, he's a tough little dude. So, and he was like, my eyes hurt. Like, kids they don't have a hard time expressing, like, what it feels like. He's like, my whole body is, like, being squeezed. I'm like, those are called body aches. It's like your whole body's bruised. He's like, yes. Like, I'm sorry, bud. Like, I can't. I would give you some ibuprofen.
I could take this pain away from you and transplant it to me, I would.
I'm sorry, dude. So we're trying here, like, just take a cold shower, do the things you can, like, have a little soup. Like, he threw up, earlier. Like, it was tough. Just try to keep drinking fluids. We got a lot of Pedialyte and Hydrolyte and stuff like that at the house. Just take all that stuff. And, then he, like, by yesterday, he was getting to be like his spunky self again.
Running around.
But he asked me Saturday or Sunday before he'd gotten sick. He's like, what's Schleg's last name? And I'm like, Schleg's is his last name. It's actually Schlegel. He goes, what's his first name? Daryl? I'm like,
is that the name he conjured up for?
I was like, Daryl.
Look like a Daryl to you?
Well, there's Daryl from the boat dock who watches the Reds a lot. Yeah. I'm like, Daryl's in his 70s and
drinking his Miller Lights or Bud Lights?
I don't know, something. He drinks a lot of beers watching the Reds.
You have to, usually.
Yeah, of course. It's the only way you get through the game. But he, but
not with Tito in charge.
He was juiced up, then to see that happen. And Schleg's like, it's actually Schlegel Bagel. He's like, that's not it. I'm like, because that's like his little nickname there. That's the one nickname that Schleg's does have outside of Schleg's being his only nickname.
Yeah, no, that's just his name.
But then I saw on, Instagram, one of my wife's good friends, her sorority sister and roommate from college, who lives out in California. She has 3 kids, and all of them, it was temperature readings, all 104 and above. I mean, folks, so at least it's nationwide that this little flu epidemic that everybody's getting. And I mean, my kid, we do encourage, listen, be safe. I'm not going to send my kids back to get everybody sick. But we didn't miss school growing up. I mean, my probably K through 8, I bet I missed less than 5 days of school. And I mean, that, my mom, she sent me to school, God bless her. My brother and I got in a fight in the morning with a broken wrist. And I was like, it hurts pretty bad. And she's like, just get out of the car. And it's like, all right. Because we ended up being late. Usually I would walk. And my brother would slam my arm in a door. Nice. I mean, I'd put my arm in the door to prevent him from locking it as I was chasing him down in the midst of a fight. So, it wasn't necessarily all his fault. It
wasn't randomly that you just had your arm in the door.
Yeah, I mean, I shot it through there like an elevator to block it. And I wasn't a very big kid growing up, so there wasn't a whole lot of meat around my forearm. And I got the wrist in there, and it may have gotten bam, and then he may have doubled it down to see if I'd pull out. And I did. It hurt pretty bad. So, yeah, but we never missed school. And so I told my kids, dude, when we start feeling better, we are going back.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how it works. I understand if, we may not be 100%, but I'm not going to listen to you be these NBA players and NFL guys I don't play unless I'm 100%. No, you play when you're healthy enough to be better than the guy above you. That's what life is. We're going to do some hard things. We're going to get through some adversity. We're going to work on this, and this is how it's going to be. Do you want me to give you the Goggins book? Let's go. Stay hard.
Plus, too, you don't go to school on Friday, not doing anything on the weekend.
That's what the other rule of my mom is.
Big rule.
It was, and the thing was, I told my son, Colin, we were driving back from practice last night. I never really missed school. I never missed it in middle school or high school because if you missed school, you couldn't play in your games. You couldn't go to practice, and then you couldn't play in your game. I was like, man, I was never missing a game, and if you didn't practice the day before the game, a lot of times the coach is like, hey, you might not be playing that much or whatever. So it's like, dude, I would gut it out, suck it up, come home, take a steam, go to bed at 8 o'clock, dude. And you just try to sleep that thing off.
Couldn't hang out with your friends either.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Exactly. So I'm like, you've got to, the getting healthy was the most important thing that you could do. It was a BFD, man. So yeah, I would always try to battle and get back as quickly as I could. So I was like, guys, let's focus up, And Caleb, he's like, yeah, I'm tired. And then he'd flip on. He just watches all these old Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns. He's watching that from 1998.
The Attitude Era?
Yeah, because he loves John Cena. So that's when he has to watch this from the early 2000s. And so I go, buddy, no, you're not watching wrestling. If you want to read or do some schoolwork, you can. If not, and then he'd turn it off and he'd just fall asleep. I'm like, okay, good. If you're really sick, then that's what will happen. You need the rest.
That's what you need.
Yeah. So we're watching the stuff and doing all that. But everybody is back on the mend.
Good.
And, so because Caleb's got a championship swim meet this weekend. He's off from wrestling. He's got basketball. Cullen's got 2 basketball games. My daughter's going skiing up at
tonight.
Holiday Valley. They're
taking a big trip.
Ski club was last night. They go on Thursday. Or no, it is Friday night. You're right. But yeah, their friends are going up to Holiday Valley.
Love Holiday Valley.
I don't know if you can really do ski club in the rain. It's
counterintuitive.
It's a slosh. It's a real sloshy environment.
They went last night. They go to Snow Trails. She said it was pretty good up there.
Yeah, I mean, not terrible, and it's been cold, so they have a lot of snow made, but it's going to be warm here the next couple of days. So they're going up to Holiday Valley.
Going to Ellicottville Brewing Company. It's a great spot. They should.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. I'm not going. I mean, I've got games to coach and drinks to drink here. So my thing is I'll be sick during the week. I'm not being sick on the weekend.
No.
I'm getting healthy. I will get sleep. I'll do whatever I need to do during the week to get healthy. You're not stealing the weekend from me, not at all.
No way, especially this time of the year. Zero chance of that happening.
This is the first real weekend. There is no football. I mean, there's the Pro Bowl nonsense, and I'll watch some of the activities.
Did you watch any of it last night?
The stuff?
Yeah.
I did not.
They had like this.
I was watching the Buckeyes.
Yeah, the Buckeyes and the Jackets. So I wasn't watching this either, but I do follow Albert Breer on Twitter, and I saw him tweet this out. He was watching for the rest of us, so we didn't have to. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow on Jamar Chase's upcoming contract negotiation said, I don't know what more he could show and do to prove himself. We have several guys like that who have stepped up for us and deserve to be paid what they're worth. Now, we had a situation a couple of days ago, I think this was from maybe Wednesday, where Duke Tobin actually was speaking, and he was speaking about the T. Higgins situation, played on the franchise tag this year, is going to be a free agent unless a contract gets done between then and now. He said it's going to be hard, talking about extending and re-signing T. Higgins. We feel like we have the resources to do it, but it all depends on how the negotiation goes and whether they're willing to accept wanting to come back at a number that makes sense for everybody. And you know what we do with T going forward. I've always been very upfront in my desire to have T. Higgins on our team. I've never not been upfront about that, and the desire continues. But we have to be able to come together with his representation on what that means and what the right number is for his experience, for his play time, for his production. It was pretty darn good this year. T. Higgins' contract, well, his contract was one thing, but his output was an entirely different thing as well.
Well, he was hurt some this year.
He was hurt some. He missed training camp, right? He pulled up with like a hammy.
Well, that's what happens when you don't pay guys. So
yeah, it's not T. Higgins' fault.
They're only playing if they're 100%. So I get that because they're in a contract year and you're not giving them the contract they want.
And I did see this. I mean, we know the Bengals are notoriously cheap. I mean, nobody's breaking any news on that. I saw this on Twitter. The Bengals are currently have two players under contract for 2025, so that would be this upcoming season, over $20 million annual value. That's Trey Hendrickson and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Two pretty good guys.
And Trey Hendrickson's still underpaid.
Yeah, and he wanted a new contract last year in which they were unwilling to give him.
In all fairness, they had just given him a new deal.
Signed the contract. Nobody forced you to sign that contract. The Eagles are paying over $20 million a year.
It's
the Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
When you do that, you have to draft well. Exactly, and you got to pay your dudes, and that's part of it. And there's the ability to have success with that. So the Eagles have all those guys that are worth paying, and they have two elite receivers now. They're going to have to make a decision on Devontae Smith eventually because they're not going to be able to pay him, you don't think, and A.J. Brown. But, it's just how you choose to allocate your resources, how creative you can be with the cap. I have Shark looking for this Mike Brown cut that Common Man plays a lot about the pieces of the pie when you break it up and you give one piece of pie or to somebody, then you have less pie to go around. It's a pretty remarkable explanation of the salary cap and how it works.
I've never heard that before.
No, he's played it a number of times. Anytime they start talking about Mike Brown, he always goes to it.
Well, I've got his array up here. And the only problem with him,
what it's named.
Yeah, the only problem with him is we have no idea what anything is under.
They probably have the Jared Jones glory hole in there.
That's in here. That's in here somewhere.
And then we had a second glory hole sighting too, which was even better.
He went back to the glory hole.
Well, it's not all smiles and glory holes, Beam. Remember that.
That's what they say.
That's what Jerry says. It's not Jerry, it's Jera.
I'm going to look for it. We're going to look for it during the break. We're going to try to decode Common Man's array. And then when we get back in 2 minutes, maybe we'll do that. But we're definitely going to check in.
Sports.
We're definitely going to check in with Austin Ward. Coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching a crash on the southeast side on 33 right near Columbus Lancaster Road. We've got crews blocking both those east and westbound lanes, especially going eastbound, though, into Lancaster. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Update, can't find the Mike Brown cut. It's gone. Was not unable to decode Common Man's array. But every single Football Friday, we get to check in with this guy.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
And Austin is brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What's going on, Commish? Happy Football Friday to you.
Happy Football Friday and happy Royal Rumble weekend to you, gentlemen. What a great day to be alive.
Where's that at? Are you going or are you purchasing on pay-per-view?
It is in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. So the girls and I will be heading westward later this afternoon to get a little head start on the weekend. And then tomorrow night at 6 p.m., the countdown will begin.
And is Cena going to be at that?
Oh, yes, sir. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to see him, but he's supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's what I know his final match is going to be on Easter weekend at the whatever going on down in.
No, Bob. He's got the entire 2025, so you don't have to say WrestleMania is the last. It's his last WrestleMania, but it is not his last match. He's got the full calendar cleared out.
See, I should have gotten tickets and taken my son to this. He wants to see Cena, and my one friend said that was his last match. Well, I guess it's his last WrestleMania. So apparently, I'm going to be spending Easter in Vegas doing that with him.
So this is his last Rumble. So lots of opportunities, and there are still tickets available. There are some in the row directly behind me and the girls, Bob. So that'd be a great time. Just come hang out with us.
Austin. I was looking forward to a weekend of nothing. Is it Saturday or Sunday night?
It's tomorrow night, Saturday night.
Don't tell me that. Oh, gosh, that sounds terrible. I mean,
I'm putting the pressure on. Yes. I'm like Triple H right now.
Well, you know what? He has his championship swim meet, so this is good. He's got his swim meet all weekend. Okay. So I feel better about that because he really wants to see him, and I want to talk to Pat. I think he would like to meet him. So if I can arrange that, that's my ultimate goal. My son watches – he's been sick all week, Austin. He watches old Raws and SmackDowns like they're happening presently just to watch Cena. Like all he does is sit on YouTube and watch 2000s wrestling now. I'm like, dude, this is 10 years old. This isn't even real.
He needs to come hang out with me and Landis then. Or it sounds like I think Cena's going to win his championship-breaking title at SummerSlam, Bob. So just pencil that one in.
All right. I'm game.
You guys wanted to talk about football. I'm sorry.
That's okay. How are we feeling about this Buckeye coaching situation?
You guys remember like 13, 14 months ago, and there were a couple jobs that, spots on the staff, and I was like, Ryan Day needs to do this immediately. Where's the urgency? Why is this not happening right now? I don't feel that way at all right now. I guess that's the benefit of winning a national championship. And, there are pieces up in the air here. I think Justin Fry's got a potential offer on the table to go to join the Chicago Bears, and given the job that he did and some of the scrutiny he faced, you can understand, especially if it's a nice offer.
Do you have a sense that he wants to go to the NFL and leave Ohio State?
Well, I think he I think he likes working at Ohio State, and I think if the Bears offer him, a double in his salary, that might be difficult for Ohio State to match. And, if you don't have to then deal with, both the recruiting and the day in, day out pressure of that, I think a lot of coaches would make that choice. I don't know for sure that will be what Justin Frye decides, but especially at his specific position where the recruiting has become so nailed down and so focused on NIL dollars. I think everyone knows at this point that David Sanders and that recruitment is the most important one that he's had, and Ohio State came up short. I don't think it was because of anything at all that Justin Frye, did or didn't do, but Ohio State has a philosophy to not pay upwards of $2 million for
a guy who's not going to play as a freshman.
For a guy who's not going to play as a freshman. And, that's I think Justin Frye takes a lot of the heat for that. But I think if you look and compare the development results, Ohio State's had a good plan. They've executed it. And the fact that he had Austin Saravel and Luke Montgomery ready to go win a national championship at the end of their second seasons is a pretty big mark in the pro column for Justin Frye. So I think that's probably with Jim Knowles already out the door, that's probably the next one that has the, real attention that would, change some things for Ryan Day, of course. Chip Kelly, I think is interested in the NFL, but I don't know that there's an actual actionable offer on the table for him at this point, the way that there may well be for Justin Frye. So, those things are ongoing. But I think even, the example that's instructive for me is not just hiring Jim Knowles 3 years ago, hiring Bill O'Brien and Chip Kelly last offseason, but even when he had Tony Alford leave in March, Ryan Day took a month and wound up with Carlos Lachlan, and that was a slam dunk, home run, everything you could possibly want from a hire. So, I think you're looking and you're like, well, doesn't Ryan Day need to finalize the defensive staff with Knowles gone? He's been gone for a week, and he had a few days before that to prepare. The signing day, the dead period, those are all coming here throughout the weekend and into next week. Spring ball is a little over a month away, and the NFL season is not quite complete. And there's things going on right there that could impact maybe that side of the football, or at least some candidates for Ohio State. So, I'm at that point where I'm not stressing about it 24 hours a day. Now, Ryan Day might be 22 hours a day because this is still the future of the Ohio State program. But I think that the normal approach that he's been using has been validated, and he's got a championship ring now to validate that as well.
So you mentioned you stressing out, and Ryan, honestly, he seems as more relaxed as I've ever seen him.
Yeah, true.
Unbelievable. Yeah, watching him do all these different talk shows and Nina out there, and it's really refreshing to see that with both of them. Are you of the belief that, and I know that he hadn't really talked about this, I think he's taking his time. Are you of the belief, do you think this defensive coordinator job, if you had to bet your tickets on it this weekend to making Liberty Bibberty happy, that it will be an internal hire of some form or an external hire?
I think the exact way that the structure is going to work out is still up for debate, Bob. But I think Matt Guerrieri and Tim Walton with co-responsibilities is edging towards the front of the pack. Some of this will also depend on what other hire Ohio State might need to make. Larry Johnson has, as I've also, lots of Fridays with you guys and talking about the defensive line, the way that group finished the year, Larry Johnson has earned, again, the right to make whatever decision he wants. He has another year left on his contract. He's been on the road recruiting this week, and certainly that playoff run seemed to give him and the Rushmen a lot of energy. So we'll see. I think he's, it's another thing to get into the weekend, and then Ohio State will decide from there. You put the ball in Larry Johnson's court, what he wants to do, whether he's done or whether it's announced ahead of time, and then this will be the farewell tour. I'm not sure if that changes much in terms of the top end structure, because I think Guerrieri Walton is the ticket that maybe we'd be looking at for Ohio State at the top, and then you see if there's someone to come in and work with the front or work alongside James Laurinaitis. I don't know. I think that would be the conversation then that Ryan Day has once they get it through this weekend. But I do think if you're saying where do I have to bet my money right now, I think sharing those top responsibilities with Matt Guerrieri and Tim Walton would be the way that Ohio State would go and maybe could go, perhaps even should go, based on the way that Ryan Day talked about Guerrieri last weekend.
Are there any names that you've even heard, Austin, from what it would be for an external hire?
No, because so much of the stuff with the NFL guys is done in secrecy, and I think that that's probably, the preference, I guess. I don't know if I can even call it that. I think that that's getting strong consideration. Outside, this has been going on for 4 or 5 years where I know that there's been mutual interest with, maybe Randall Joyner would be the eventual defensive line coach in return to Ohio State. If we're looking outside the program, that's a name that I'm always going to focus on because Randall's got experience at Ohio State. He's got experience working with Larry Johnson. He has recruited in the Southeastern Conference, Ole Miss. He's proven himself they had one of the best defensive lines in the country. So there's about, 5, 6 pros that I can just rattle off right there for him. So I think he will always be in that conversation. Will that absolutely happen? I don't know. I would like it because covering, he's a phenomenal person to cover, and I've enjoyed watching his career and everything with his family. But so that's a name that I keep in the back pocket. And if you can escape Lane Kiffin, I think people would want to do that too. But that's sort of where I'm at right now. But a lot of it I think is going to shake out in the coming weeks. Austin, before we get you out of here, where are road beers tonight? We are going to be at the Sun King location there in Carmel. It's got everything you need, some nice play area out in front. It's got 3 different restaurants inside, a little bit like, if you went to maybe Crooked Can or something like that in Hilliard, where you can get different foods and keep everybody happy, and cool spot. Berm and I went there, I don't know, before Big Ten Media Days, I guess it was last summer. It was the first time we'd been to the one that wasn't downtown. So going to take the girls up there, and then the hotel's got an indoor pool, so Liberty's excited for that. And I don't know if she'll sleep at all, but at least we won't have to make the drive tomorrow morning to get ready for the Rumble. She's over here right now getting ready for this weekend, and
and Dad got me a suite.
And we're in a suite.
Whoa! Living the sweet life.
So she's fired up, as you can tell.
Clocking a ticket for me at CM Punk. I think he's going to win. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping. Thanks for hopping on with us. Liberty, have a great weekend. Enjoy the sweet life. Okay.
Okay.
See you guys.
There he goes. Austin and Liberty Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Still watching a crash on the southeast side, 33 over off of Pickerington Road. Those eastbound lanes of 33 all impacted this morning. Westbound lanes also still slow moving. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
I'm Rick Reichert. Reichert Ford just wrapped up one of our biggest sales years in our history. So we're celebrating with the January kickoff sales event. And we're dealing. Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $599 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Or lease your 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also, 0 down. One of the largest Ford inventories in America. Over 1,000 new Fords on the ground and on the way. And it's all on sale. Plus, don't miss our 0 down programs. Available now. No other dealer in Columbus, in Ohio, or the entire country is dealing like this, period. So let's make 2025 another great year. Start with Reichert Ford's January kickoff sales event at the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Ends 2-3. Come in now.
Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
Get ready to make the big game even bigger at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. With 2 massive jumbotrons, over 50 feet of screen, and more than 30 TVs, you won't miss a single play, touchdown, or highlight. Fuel your game with mouthwatering food and bucket specials. Plus, warm up with our pregame cornhole toss for your chance to win big before kickoff. Reserve your table now for the best seat in the house. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it.
This is the year of getting stronger, and future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting 365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
Celebrate women in sports. Join Ohio State women's basketball on Sunday, February 2nd for a special Women in Sports and Alumni Night. The Buckeyes take on Washington at the Shop. Be part of this great evening and get your tickets at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Rothman and Ice.
There were some 50, 60-year-old people there that were boo. I was like, sure they weren't saying Lou? No. It was heavy boos.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
A reminder, you can always watch the show on YouTube. And you can always download the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, because we have a monster 8 o'clock hour incoming. Albert Breer at 8 o'clock. Matt Light, 3-time Super Bowl champion at 8:17. And then AJ Hawk, as always, he's going to join us coming up here at 8:30 this morning.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Oh, Bobby, it's a big Friday, buddy. What's got you fired up?
Oh, goodness. My wife texting me during the show acting like I'm not really working and the amount of things that I need to be doing. And
2 dudes having a sit and a chat.
Yeah. I mean, just hanging out here, it's fine. Don't worry about my job. I know you got things that are important and pressing and going on, and I get that, but I'm also trying to do a job. I'm trying to work. So I'm juiced up about this weekend. My kids are getting healthy. They're moving in the right direction. Got some swim meet and some stuff with kids going on this weekend, but no football going on, which is nice. After the Super Bowl, I'll lament the fact that there isn't any football for a number of months. Tim Hall will go into a pit of despair and cry. He's already sad the season's over with that.
He's got March Madness to look forward to, though.
That is true, but he gets sad early about things.
Well, it's already over.
It is. It is already over. But you'll be happy if you make your life not necessarily just about your own happiness, but about the happiness of others.
If you want to live a miserable life, make it all about you. Make your life about you. Make your marriage about you. Make your business about you. Make everything you do. Make your kids about you. If you want to live a great life, decide none of it's about you. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. He gave his life as a ransom for many. If you didn't know this, we're called to live like him. What is the pinnacle of you living like Christ is realizing God didn't put me here on earth so I could go on some, pleasure island vacation. God put me here on earth because there's a calling and a destiny on my life. There's something that I'm supposed to do. There's a people that I'm supposed to serve, and I'm going to give my life as a ransom for many. Until you realize that, you're walking in the wrong direction. Until you realize that your life is a life of service, you're not on the greatness journey. When you decide my life is about other people, that's when you realize I have a life that's worthy of a calling. Let me choose to live up to it.
There you go.
Vacation and life on Pleasure Island. It does sound nice.
I'll tell you what, I love going on vacation. I also love being done with vacation. And that's why I usually only go on vacations for 4 or 5 days. I don't enjoy trips longer than 5 or 6. I like to get back into my routine and get back into the stuff I like to do. So live a life in service of others. Shark, what Schleig's got to say?
Right there. Poof, David Copperfield. There's your plan, Big Ten. No need to thank me. I did it in 2 hours. All you need is a whiteboard, a pair of scissors, a monster, and a brain. That's it. That's all you need.
That's an oldie but goodie.
Mm-hmm.
Bob,
That's when the Big Ten canceled football season.
Yes, I like 10-day vacations, and I'm sad.
You're going on the longest vacation of your life.
Going on a lifetime
and it will be the
vacation.
last vacation you ever take, Shark.
It's all right. I'm okay with that, Bob.
Well, does it really?
My
Is it
life
really
is one big vacation?
Is it really vacation after that, or is it just life?
It doesn't work. Every day's a Saturday.
Are there 8 billion birthdays in the world, or 365?
I don't even know what that question is.
Well, the population's 8 billion. So are there 8 billion, or are there 365 days in the year? I know what you mean, Beam.
Figured we were talking about getting very meta with you, Shark. So
well, there might be. There's actually 366. If you guys really
some
want to
years.
Good
some
call.
years.
No, it's every year. Because if you were born on February 29th, that is your birthday.
That's right.
That's true.
I had
That's a good point.
I had an aunt who was born on Leap Day.
That's
How old
amazing.
is she?
So when she was 80, she was 20.
Yeah, that's great.
That's.
I mean, if you
no
put your
joke.
birthday as February 29th, I feel like a lot of people be like, dude, give me your real birthday.
Yeah,
Like,
what are the chances?
I mean, 1 in 366 times 4.
Yeah, 1,300 and whatever.
But there's 8 billion people in the world, so there's a decent number of people that have been born then.
That's right, Bob. That's an exclusive club of a few million, probably.
Yeah. Like Jared Jones said that the last Smiles and Glory Holes, also an exclusive club.
I don't know if that's exclusive, but anyway, we move on. We talked yesterday about Adam Silver wanting to shorten the length of NBA games because the average NBA game takes 2 hours and 13 minutes, and he wants to be more like 2 hours. I'm watching the OSU game last night against Penn State, and I was thinking about Adam Silver because that college basketball game did go 2 hours and 13 minutes, 42 fouls in a 40-minute game, 53 free throws. It was awful. And then I was watching the Cavs game, and that game featured 47 free throws. So in a span of Ohio State started at 6:30. The Cavs ended at 9:30. In a span of 3 hours, I saw 99 free throws.
You know what the best news about that, Shark, is? The Buckeyes made 17 of their 23. The Nittany Lions made 16 of their 29.
That's right, Bob. Glad you were watching. I have a soft spot in my heart for teams that have long losing streaks. I once went through an 0-16 season with the Browns.
What was the total losing streak, though? I know it was 0-16.
Yeah, they had gone 1-15 the year before, and that was a win over the then San Diego Chargers, and that was like week 15.
Okay.
So I think the losing streak was really only 17 games. I suffered through a 26-game losing streak with the Cavaliers one year, the year after LeBron left and Byron Scott was coaching. 26 in a row, and it was you just didn't think they would ever win again. Well, the Washington Wizards won on New Year's Day. This is the 31st of January. They haven't won since then. 16 straight losses, and it's 16 losses for the second time this season. They've had 2 16-game losing streaks.
Sound like the White Sox.
And they're not coming close. They've had 20 losses this season of at least 20 points, 5 of at least 30 points. Last night they lost by 38 to the Lakers, something like that. So I feel bad for the folks in Washington.
I forgot that they existed before you mentioned the Wizards.
When you suffered through that 26-game losing streak, I wish I could have told you that you would have had the ability to suffer through a 15-game winning streak.
Yes. I wish you could have forecast that for me, Bob.
Dylan Robichaud.
It got us Kyrie Irving, though, the next year in the draft. And then also, about 12:45 this morning, I know you weren't awake to listen to this, but I was. Bobby Mack on the Fan.
Michael finds his way into the Blue Jackets' end.
It's on the left wing boards. He cuts to the middle. He leaves it now for Pietrangelo. And he has it knocked off his stick by Kent Johnson. And here comes Kent Johnson. Back the other way. Gets behind the defense. Walks in. Shoots. Save made. Rebound. Another save. Third time's a charm. Paul Sillinger scores. And I got 2 words for you. Game over.
Actually, that wasn't on the fan because we carried the Buckeye game last night. Sorry about that, Bobby Mack. Beam, what has you juiced?
Where was the cannon at?
We were in Vegas.
I know that they were in Vegas. What's got me juiced? Shane Lowry making a ace at the AT&T out there in Pebble Beach. Rory had one at Spyglass, right? Didn't even touch grass. I mean, it's boom, right in the hole. Do you know Shane Lowry's career hole-in-one lists? He's got 3 of them on the PGA Tour. He probably has 10, just in real life. Shane Lowry's career hole-in-one list is probably the most impressive resume that you'll see. His first career hole-in-one came at the Island Green at the 17th at TPC Sawgrass.
Nice. Pretty iconic.
His second one came at the 16th hole at Augusta National in the Masters.
Pretty iconic.
And the other one came at the 7th hole at Pebble Beach yesterday, which is one of the more iconic. All 3 of those.
Very short par 3, but man, is it tough.
I don't know if you could pick a better 3 to have 3 hole-in-ones.
Better 3. Like if you would take one of those,
one of those makes a life. Shane Lowry's got 3 of them on the 17th at Sawgrass, 16th at Augusta, and the 7th
So that makes me feel better, the fact that I'll never get a hole-in-one, that he's got 3 of them at 3 iconic venues.
Tim Hall had one.
Yeah, we know. 213 yards downhill in Utah. He got splotchy when he saw it. I've heard that story 1,000 times.
Rick Pitino
I thought you witnessed it.
No, I didn't witness it. He's told me about it 1,000,000 times.
I thought you were playing with him.
No, I was not playing with him.
So we don't know if it's true.
It is true. He said it was true. So I do believe him on that.
Tim's not a liar.
No, he's not. Tim plays by the rules with golf, which is something I respect about him. Albert Breer of the MMQB joins us to recap his Senior Bowl trip and everything going on across the NFL with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, still watching a crash on the southeast side impacting traffic heading out to Lancaster. We've got all eastbound lanes closed right at Pickerington Road on 33. Westbound lanes also impacted. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
One night, one stage. Billy Joel and Rod Stewart. Saturday, September 20th. One special evening at Paycor Stadium. Together for the first time ever in Cincinnati. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Saturday, September 20th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Rod Stewart.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bomb shelves arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Ooh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Your furnace could be costing you in repairs and high utility bills. Replace it with Logan AC and Heat Services. Enjoy 0% APR financing for 72 months. It's hard to stop a train. Schedule now. Logan Services.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
All right, fellas, let's tackle the age-old question. What do I get her for Valentine's Day? Don't stress. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company and get 25% off your entire purchase. Books flowers are fresh, vibrant, and last way longer. Some are even grown on the side of a volcano. Don't wait. Valentine's Day is February 14th, so get your order in now. Go to Books.com. Use my promo code CANTY for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Blue Jackets begin a 4-game road trip in Las Vegas. The Golden Knights scored a goal 4 minutes, 58 seconds in, and then never scored again. Adam Fantilli tied the game with his 15th goal of the season late in the first period. Cole Sillinger's goal, 52 seconds into overtime, gave Columbus a 2-1 victory. In basketball, Ohio State picked up its third straight win, knocking off the Nittany Lions 83-64 at Penn State. John Mobley led the way with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Buckeyes. Bruce Thornton added 17 points as OSU improves to 13-8 overall, 5-5 in the Big Ten. In the NBA, Darius Garland and Evan Mobley were named reserves for the upcoming All-Star game. They joined their Cavaliers teammate Donovan Mitchell, who is a starter for the East squad. Last night, the three of them celebrated with a 137-115 win over Atlanta. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Final hour of the program for us on a Friday. Albert Breer is going to join us momentarily, talk all things going on across the NFL. Matt Light, native son of Greenville, Ohio, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. He joins us at 8:17. And then at 8:30, as always, AJ Hawk, he's going to round out the program with us coming up here a little bit later on.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
All right, clean sweep last night. Buckeyes, Jackets, and Cavs all getting it done. 83-64, Buckeye men's hoops team take down Penn State. 3-game winning streak. 3 wins on the road in the month of January. The last 2 seasons combined, you have had 2. They are at Illinois Sunday at 1 o'clock. Jake Diebler is going to join us in studio at 8 o'clock coming up here next Wednesday. Jackets 2, Vegas 1 in overtime last night. Sharky just playing the Cole Sillinger goal from last evening, getting 2 points up on the big board. That was good. Back-to-back tonight in Utah. 9 o'clock start, 8:30 coverage for us begins right here on The Fan. And then the Cavs took down the Hawks last night, 137-115. Ohio State women's basketball in action Sunday at 5 o'clock. They need to get a win because you are going on the road to do the California swing coming up next week at UCLA and USC. So you want to make sure you rack and stack a win on Sunday at the Shot before you head out to that trip, because UCLA is number 1 and USC is number 4 in the country.
Ooh, nice. Chance
for some great wins on the road.
Absolutely. Stack them up, Deebs.
Yeah. Or Kevin McGuff. But
McGuff, I'm sorry.
Deeb's
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Deeb's stacking up. The girls are going out there.
Yeah, for sure. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy of the MMQB, Thursday Night Football on Prime, all kinds of good stuff. He is Albert Breer. AB, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. How was the Senior Bowl down in Mobile this week?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Same as usual. Different years, my 17th of these, but yeah, it was. I'd say, these things are always kind of the start of the 2025 season for 30 to 32 teams. So that's sort of what we were at with that.
All right, so we know that a lot of the work, Albert, and we've talked to you during Combine Week, like a lot of off-season stuff and maybe or maybe not potential scheming across the NFL goes on during the Combine. Is there anything like that? I mean, I know you got a bunch of different coaches down there and all sorts of NFL bodies. Like, how would you compare that to the Combine and kind of the behind-the-scenes look as coaches are starting to get their staffs together for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's there's less people than there are at the Combine, but it's the first event where there's a significant amount of people from every team. So, I mean, not all the head coaches are there, but there are some head coaches there. Not every single general manager is there, but most of them are there. And then, pretty much the entire scouting community and, assorted assistant coaches. So it's a really significant number of NFL people. It's, really why I go. I'm not going down there to break down the North Dakota State tackle or the corner who can improve his stock from the fourth round to the third round. I'm there more to kind of connect and see people and, get going on a few different things for the following year.
And to find out if any of the Ohio State coaches are going to the NFL. You got any intel on that, Albert?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess Chip, right? I mean, Hartline's always in the mix. I think that there's a chance that happens for one or two of the guys, but I don't think it's a certainty right now. And this is all obviously affected by the timeline of all this stuff is messed up and different than it used to be, and so. Over the next week or so, teams will finalize their staffs. And so, could Hartline wind up somewhere? Could Hartline wind up with Vrabel? Could Justin Fry wind up with Chicago? Could Chip wind up in Houston? I think all those things, potentially could be on the table. But I don't know that anything's done yet. And I do think there's a chance that everybody's back in Columbus next year.
He is Albert Breer with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hey, I want to give you a big thank you. I wasn't watching the skills competition last night, but you were, and I saw your tweet about Joe Burrow's comments about Jamar Chase.
It, by the way,
good.
My kids loved it. I don't know that I could get my kids to watch the old Pro Bowl game, what it was. So, I mean, I guess for the NFL, that was an improvement. They actually really enjoyed getting to see all the guys do all that stuff.
Did they like the Bosa speed walks where everybody else were sprinting?
Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. I'm wondering if the Eastern European trainers or whatever that Joey and Nick have working for them advise them against running on that turf. The first thing I was thinking was maybe they got some advice not to do the sprint out there.
Do you think the Bengals ultimately bring back Higgins, or is this a done deal that he's gone?
I think it's going to be difficult, Bobby. Now I have heard that Jamar turned down an opportunity to be the highest paid receiver in the history of the game before the season, and then maybe it wasn't the raw number, but the structure of the deal that really wound up putting them in a precarious spot as far as keeping him. I do think ultimately you wind up getting Jamar Chase done because you have to. The difficulty is fitting both those guys in, and the way I look at it, I think Joe's very savvy, and understands the business of the game better than most. He's been around it his whole life, and I think what you've seen over the last few months have been warning shots from him, and this is a guy who takes winning very seriously, who takes his career very seriously, who wants the opportunity to compete for championships on a consistent basis and knows he's got players that he can do it with there. I think even going to bat for Lou Anarumo the way he did towards the end of the season was a sign of that. So if I were the Bengals, I would not take it lightly, when he says stuff like this. And I think that they need to make a very real effort to keep T. Higgins. And the interesting thing now is with the agent change that T. Higgins, made towards the end of the season, he and Jamar Chase have the same agent, which adds a whole different dynamic to the whole thing. So you can't really play one off the other when both guys are represented by the same person. So it'll be interesting to see the way all that plays out. I think they're going to make an effort to keep both. it's judging on the Bengals' history. It's obviously not a sure thing that they'll put their money where their mouth is.
Hey, before we get you out of here, New Orleans next week, Super Bowl. What's your travel schedule looking like? How long are we down there for?
I go on Sunday. I'm there for 9 days, which is a long haul. The older I get, the longer it seems that I'm away for Super Bowl week. I'm there on Sunday, and I'm here at home for 2 days. I got home like last night, and back out Sunday, middle of the day, and just going and very day to day. I'd say while I'm at the Super Bowl, but hey, there are a lot worse things to do for work than that. So I'm well aware of how lucky I am to be in the position I'm in.
Come on, Albert, don't you want the Super Bowl to move to President's Day weekend? I mean, what's better than an 8-month football season?
No, because that'll screw up my ski my ski trip. So I honestly, like, that's the way I look at it now. Is like every time they make the season longer, it's eating more into my. Because I already can't, I love skiing. I can't ski as much as I used to because of my job, and they just keep eating away at those few weeks that I actually have where I can do it, which is tough. I know you guys feel horrible for me.
We do. There's sympathy. People are getting out the tissues all over Columbus right now. Albert, before we get you out of here, Cohen's comments at the Duval comments at the Jag. Like, why are so many of these head coaching pressers getting weird? Why are these pressers getting weird for the head coaches, like these first-time guys?
I don't know. It's just a strange. I don't know if there's an awkwardness, or maybe part of it is just not having as much experience. Like sometimes these guys don't get as much experience, in those sorts of settings. Some teams. They'll do their assistant coach pressers over Zoom or in more casual settings, and so they're not as used to being up there on a stage and, in front of a bigger audience. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I will say it's not a great gauge, you know what I mean, for whether or not a coach is going to succeed. Because Nick Sirianni's opening press conference was not good.
Yes.
Dan Campbell's, I think people made fun of him for – they're still making fun of him for it, 4 years later. And that turned out to be a pretty good hire, I'd say. Matt LaFleur, I seemed very nervous when he was up there.
Adam Gase.
With his crazy eyes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if Gase has had the same level of success as the other three guys. But then there have been guys who've nailed it, like Matt Rule. His introductory press conference at Carolina was freaking incredible. It was like a sermon. You know what I mean? And look how that turned out. So I don't think these things are necessarily always a great gauge, but at the same time, like Liam's presser also followed a really weird exit from Tampa. So, you put 2 and 2 together there, and I can understand why people feel what they do about that whole thing.
AB, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. Get some rest here this weekend, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. There he goes. Our guy, Albert Breer, MMQB, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Greenville native, 3-time Super Bowl champion Matt Light. He joins us next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching a crash on the southeast side. This is on 33 eastbound. All lanes shut down at Pickerington Road. Westbound lanes also impacted. Closer to the metro, no major crashes that we're watching. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey there, Beamer here. Big news for Columbus. We all love new, right? A new house, a new car, a new phone, a new dog, a new puppy, whatever. And of course, a new store. There's a brand new AT&T store on Georgesville Road. That means you just got even more of what we need to stay connected. A new store in the 614 means now that we have even more ways to bring us together. So whether you need a new device, a new charger, or the very best deals on every smartphone, AT&T has got you covered. Because bringing people together is what AT&T does. When you're meeting the family for a barbecue or analyzing the next game with your friends who know better than the coach, or getting together for a hockey game, you can come join me, Brandon Beam, and 97.1 The Fan on Saturday from noon to 2 at 1605 Georgesville Square Drive, and walk away feeling connected in more ways than ever before. Because AT&T knows connecting changes everything. Visit your local store for more information. Offers vary by device. Restrictions may apply.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Breaking news, never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Some showers will linger into the day, otherwise expected to be a mainly cloudy day. Temperatures soar in the mid to upper 50s to even low 60s. We'll see those daytime highs today drop very quickly overnight. As colder air rushes in, we'll see chances of rain and snow showers overnight, and then chances of rain taper off for Saturday, which will be dry but cool, with our daytime highs in the 40s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, coming up here, 8:30 this morning, AJ Hawkey's going to join us as he always does on a Football Friday. As for now, though, a very special treat for everybody. We head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy, native son of Greenville, Ohio, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. He is Matt Light. Matt, thanks for the time as always. We appreciate it. What's been going on? Great to chat with you.
Man, welcome, Ohio. I love you guys. It's been a long time since I've been back home, by the way, and always good to catch up with you guys there in the beautiful Columbus area. But no, I'm good, man. Just, getting ready for this big game, about a week or so, and, trying to keep up with life.
I was watching an Instagram clip. The algorithm got it right, and I was watching Julian Edelman and one of your former coaches with the Patriots. And I just had to ask, have you replaced any batteries in computer mice lately?
I'll tell you what, that's the problem with civilian life, right? Like, what you can do in a locker room and in a meeting room is unbelievable. And then they turn us loose into the real world, and you can't do that, right? Like, they frown on you. They talk about
abuse.
HR and yeah.
I mean, you abusing Scar like that. I mean, he doesn't know how to use a computer, and you taking the batteries out of the mice. I mean, that's just not fair. I mean, the poor guy is trying to figure out how to work a computer to play some film. Matt, I mean, listen, you obviously got a storied career there in New England. Sorry we're a little late. You know, a fellow New Englander, Albert Breer, was chewing up your time. We couldn't get him off the air. He's one of our guys, though. But with that, I mean, you played Mike Vrabel, now the head coach of the New England Patriots. I mean, give us your best Vrabel story that is I know there's probably not many that are safe for air, but if you've got one filtered down that you can distill for us, that'd be great.
Hey, listen, I'm going to share my favorite Vrabel story of all time. So we all know that Vrabel is the jerk that you want in your corner because he's your jerk, right? You know, like, and I say that with the utmost respect and love for a guy that I played a long time with and, you know, who just meant so much to the organization, to the locker room, and, you know, what he brought, you know, is really incredible. His career is incredible, right? As you guys know very well. But my favorite Vrabel moment of all time, we're having a fundraiser for the Light Foundation, and it's a stag night, and we stole that from some guys up north, right, that, you know, like the Lachey's and the Hoyings, and they used to do one just north of us. So we wanted to do one. I said, Braves, I need you to come down. And we're sitting there, and my mayor gets up and reads a proclamation to make it like Matt Light Day in Greenville, Ohio, which is the last thing in the world if I knew he was going to do that, I wouldn't let him do it, right? And he stumbles over the word matriculate. And it was a pretty bad stumble as he's reading this proclamation. Fast forward an hour, we're having an auction, and the auctioneer is up there, and guys aren't bidding on something. And Vrabel grabs the mic, and he says, I will give anybody $1,000 right now if they can get the mayor of Greenville to spell matriculate. And I almost died. That's our boy.
It sounds pretty on brand from him, from everything that you hear, and you obviously have a great relationship with him, but I don't know if there's anybody in the world else that could pull that off other than Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing what he is. Matt, you've got Super Bowl coming up, obviously, here. Any thoughts on the Eagles-Chiefs rematch of what we've seen?
Yeah, look, I think what we saw in that AFC Championship game was just a better coaching, man, better coach and player connection, right? You know, as I watched that AFC Championship game, I'm rooting for the Bills. I don't know why. They were a rival of ours. You know, I was conflicted a little bit, but I wanted to see the Bills pull it off, but they just got out-coached and they got outplayed, right? So now you get to this matchup and you have all the experience in KC. You know, you've got a team that finds a way to win. You know, that defensive line, you look at the way they played, you know, where a lot of people weren't able to stop, you know, certain short yardage plays. They weren't able to keep up with, you know, Josh Allen and his ability to make plays. You look at a Chiefs offense that a lot of people were saying, they don't have the firepower, or Kelsey isn't what he used to be. They always find a way to get it done, and I have a hard time believing that in the biggest game where they always show up that they won't find a way to get it done, but they're going to have a mountain to climb. Obviously a really good Eagles defense, and their offense is able to do, you know, a lot of great things as well.
All right, before we get to the wonders of the Light Foundation, everything you're doing, a great event here in Columbus. You played for Bill Belichick for a long time. I want you to rewind, heck, it'd probably be about 25, almost 30 years ago now. Young Matt Light sitting in Greenville at your parents' place, and you're getting recruited by North Carolina. Bill Belichick comes walking through that door. What's that recruiting pitch going to be like in the house?
Well, does he have a sidekick with him?
He does. He's got his girlfriend who you find attractive.
Well, I got to tell you, there's a lot of things these young guys consider today, right? I look at it and I'm bewildered. I don't understand how we got to this point. I get it. Things change. These guys are making money. There's a lot of things that, you know, that you would do differently today than we did back in the day. But to say no to Bill Belichick and to think that you couldn't go there and be developed, because it's not really about the college experience anymore, right? It's really about what can I make today and how can I prepare to go to the next level. And that guy is going to help you prepare to go to the next level.
He is Matt Light with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Matt, I was on the website a little bit earlier this week when Bob shared that we were going to get a chance to talk to you. MattLight72.com. Tell us a little bit about the Light Foundation and what we've got going on with the Buckeye Blast. Tuesday, May 13th. It's up in Delaware, so it's just north of us at the Blackwing Shooting Center, because it looks like you guys have put on some pretty incredible events in the northeastern region of America, especially in Boston with some of this stuff.
Yeah, look, it started in 2001. I got drafted. I never thought I'd ever, go to the next level, make the, kind of money, right? I mean, the lifestyle. That was never a reality for me until it became real. And, I just said to my family, hey, what can we do? And, we started the foundation officially in 2002. We've been working with kids from across the country. It's all about leadership. It's all about being real, responsible, ethical, accountable leaders. We love the work we do. We got a great facility, just outside of Greenville. And we bring kids in, and the programming is special, man. We do everything from timber framing, to, leadership programs and camps and academies. So love what we do. And the events, man, this one that we're going to have in Delaware, it's coming off of a 20-year history of running our celebrity shootout here in New England. So it's all about bringing in a bunch of guys, whether they're, from the Big Ten, from the NFL ranks, actors, country music artists, and just having fun with a group of people that want to spend some time outdoors blowing things up. Because I've never had a bad day pulling the trigger and smelling gunpowder.
That's perfect. I'm trying to get a guy Schlegel there, Jake Ballard. You may have been on the other end of that, one of the ones with Jake Ballard for the Giants there. But he said he was going to be. I'm trying to round up some Buckeyes here, Matt. So we're excited to be a part of it, man. Excited to have you be back here in Central Ohio for a part of that. The only request that I've heard from people that I've started talking to is, would you be able to reprise your Super Bowl commercial outfit and the dance?
Listen, as Toby Keith once said, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'd be as good once as I ever was. So give me about 30 seconds of that song. Buddy, I got to tell you, the last time I saw you, we're celebrating Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium, right?
Yeah.
You remember what you saw when you walked down the red carpet? The first thing you saw when we went into that little holding area, it was on a pedestal. Do you recall that at all?
Was it one of the trophies?
It was a goat, right?
Yes,
flowers,
yeah.
Giant. Remember how magnificent that was? That is in my barn right now. I remember leaving that party and ripping that off the base and putting it in the back of my truck to the very utter dismay of all of the security that were like, what are you doing? You can't take that. I was like, no, I'm just going to. So we're going to have a little reunion with that thing at some point, maybe even auction it off.
I love it. That is awesome. My son took the pillows. One of my friends who worked in the organization goes, listen, they're not doing this again. Take anything that isn't bolted down. So, the goat may have been. You may have ripped that out of the ground, but that would be tremendous to have that there. Get a little piece of history for us, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good night, man. Great seeing you. Thanks for having me on. And, man, we're fired up for the 13th. It's going to be a hell of an event.
Hey, Matt, before we let you go, I'd be remiss, too. I was breaking down film of yours. My stepdad, we're from Dayton, so, you're a 937 legend, being there from Greenville. So I just want to let you know, thanks for everything, and you were like an idol of mine growing up. And I don't know when the next chance I'm going to get to talk to you, but thanks for everything. This was fantastic.
Man, listen, like I said, I've been a blessed guy all my life, man. Came from Greenville, got to go to Purdue and have some fun, made it in the league for a while, and been living the dream ever since, man. So very blessed. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. There he goes, Matt Light with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, 7 weeks ago, I decided to make a change, down 37 pounds, only 7 weeks to drop probably what took 5 years to put on. And what's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180, chasing Willie around like it's nothing, something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure you can relate to it. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like slowing me down anymore. Those cravings that always got my way, poof, gone. And what I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at the Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results, and more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, she's been the health guru I needed. She helps me adjust to fit the crazy schedule, from what I eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks, just a plan that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, you can take control with Awaken 180. It's the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. From one Super Bowl champion to another, AJ Hawkey joins us here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching a closure on the southeast side. All eastbound lanes of 33 are shut down at Pickerington Road. Westbound lanes also slightly restricted. And here in the metro, I-71 southbound, slow moving. The right lane blocked off right near Long Street. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
A golf course quality lawn is easier and more affordable than you think with True Green. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. And right now, you can get 75% off your first service. Plus, they have a price match guarantee. You know you're getting the best value. And if you're not satisfied, True Green will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Don't wait. Visit TrueGreen.com today to lock in 75% off and let the pros handle your lawn while you enjoy the results.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
At Logan Services, we know how important your home comfort is, and that's why we're proud to offer free HVAC inspections. Through our free inspection, you'll get a thorough assessment of your heating and cooling system to identify any potential issues that can impact your home, your energy bills, and even your health. The assessment is free and only takes an hour of your time. It's the fast, friendly service that you've come to expect from our team at Logan Services.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Trying to track down AJ. Can't find him.
Well, they said that we have a max beam of 937 influence in the show today.
Yeah,
and
we've had
you,
a lot.
With you on here daily, we just had Matt. I don't know if we're able to do another 937er in 1 hour block. Like, the concentration will be too great, and the show might explode just like that shaker bottle exploded all over your face.
Yeah, so as you can see on the YouTube machine, I'm drinking a beautiful grapefruit, fruit drink.
Some fruit drink.
Yeah, some fruit drink.
Some of that fruit drink.
Drinking fruit drink. And when we got done talking with Matt, I went to shake the bottle. Unknowing to me, the bottle was actually slightly ajar.
Oh, so you shook it.
And it was with the cap a little bit open. Hey, you know what? I guess we don't have a limited 937 guys.
Oh, no. A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
Sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice.
All right, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our guy. He is A.J. Hawk. Age, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. We just had your guy Matt Light on. I believe that brings us up to the total of 4 total Super Bowl rings today. I mean, that's a pretty power-packed Friday edition of the program for the fine folks out there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously he's got 3 of them. That guy did it right, and he's an absolute legend, especially coming from the Dayton area. And if you talk to anybody that was on any of those Patriots teams, they love Matt Light.
So he's putting on an event with the Lighthouse Foundation up at Blackwing Shooting Centers. May 13th. May 13th.
Tuesday, May 13th.
Shooting thing. So, Age, I'll have to get you the details about that. Should be a pretty fun time. He said the only rule is, get some guys there. They can't be jerks. He's like, they got to be willing to talk to people. He goes, that was Vrabes' rule always. You want to come back and do the stuff? Can't be a jerk. He goes, it didn't matter if it's Tom Brady, Randy Moss, whoever, just don't come. And you can't give me this nonsense like Russell Wilson at the Wilson Football Factory. You can't talk to me. Don't look at me. Just, I'm here for the shoot. So you're a good dude. I know you'll be fine. He was telling us about, he used to, their O-line coach, AJ, was an older dude, Dante Scarnecchia. He was still there. He was still there when I was there. And they used to get in the meeting room before he was there, and they would flip the batteries upside down in the mouse on his computer so it wouldn't work. And then Scar would go like yell at the IT people, and then when he left the room, they'd flip him around, and then so it would work again. And so like Scar, like, he was just always getting frustrated. They're always messing with stuff like that. I mean, do you have any good hijinks or anything from like your time in the league that you used to mess with your position coaches at all?
Well, I mean, you, Bob, were a part of anything like that. You know, I know Schlegs has talked about it on here before, but you know, drawing stuff on the whiteboard where you pull down, so you draw like a little message, maybe a couple of spaceships on the whiteboard, and then you pull down the actual screen that the projector goes on that we're watching film with. So eventually, you know, when that coach, Luke Fickell or Mark Snyder, whoever it might be, decides
decides
to roll up that projection screen, there might be a surprise waiting for him on the other side. You just hope whenever the coach does that he's in a good mood, you know, and it's like after a win or after a good practice. Because when that happens after a loss or a bad practice, that doesn't go too well.
Did you take any of those traditions to Green Bay with you?
Oh yeah, those traditions live on. You gotta. Whoever you're with, whatever NFL team, you know, you sit there and you kind of share notes and you talk about what you did and different coaches' reactions and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I kept that going in Green Bay. Sometimes the coaches were not as, you know, I guess, receptive as other coaches to some of that stuff. But you got to figure out, you got to pick and choose. You got to read the room and know who you can mess with.
I feel like Gen Pop has been a pretty popular term this week. Like Schlegs used it when we talked to him on Tuesday. Matt Light just used it, like getting back indoctrinated into regular society after you were getting done playing. How long did it take you to assimilate back to general population, AJ?
I think we're all still working our way through it, probably. I think, but it is true when you look back and you think about it. Like whenever you're done playing, and I had some regular jobs, like in high school. I was working the landscape, and I was driving forklift at Yold Transportation for a little while, stocking shelves, like all of that stuff. But I've never had like an office job. I have no idea what it's like to go in there and congregate with a bunch of people in an actual office gig, and you know what, like real humans, how they interact. So yeah, I think we're always trying to figure it out, and I think you just realize like, oh, okay, I guess the world I've been living in, or the things that I've been people around me say, like it doesn't happen every day in the corporate world, but you can always find your niches. Like everybody has their own thing, and I think everyone has their own form of how they entertain each other at work. It's just some people use different material than others, and sometimes their feelings get hurt too. You got to realize that. Like you can't go, we're close. If you know, me and Bobby are very close, we can kind of jab each other back and forth, and it's okay. But if you know someone comes up to Bob that doesn't know Bob and wants to go at him and thinks it's funny, like sometimes it's not as funny.
Yeah, that is true, H. Sometimes when you go real hard, I cry in my pillow at night. I just don't share that with you because. You know, I want to make sure that we keep the barriers up, and that's key. And that's why we watch The Office, you know, so you can see what someone like a human like us would be released into the wild and how that would ultimately operate. And it's pretty fun. Are you going to be at the Super Bowl next week? You guys broadcasting out there?
I'm not going to be at the game, but I'll be out there at least Wednesday through Friday. I believe at Radio Row doing all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it to any of the parties. Yeah, I know we've talked about that before. Sometimes those can be overly crowded and nothing to do inside those things. So
those are your favorite kind of events.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you guys hear this?
Yeah.
This call is no longer being recorded.
Well, you hear that? Okay. So
that's just us.
No, I was talking to my mom the other day, and it did that. She's like, "Are you recording our conversation?"
Judy's paranoid now. I
don't talk to her a whole lot on the phone anyway. And then that popped up at the end, and she's like, "Wait, what's going on?"
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, they're messing with me. They've been messing with me for a while. This happened before with you guys. Like, if I even think about getting on a call, this thing's popping up. They just want me to get a new phone, obviously. I don't think it's anything worse than that.
Who is they?
Well,
who is they?
Here's the
who is they, Beamer?
Well,
who is they? I'm asking.
There's a friend of ours, Age, who I think has recently been released. You might want to have a conversation with him about the overall capital they situation of how you're being. Those drones in New York, they might be following you around too.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. I need to set up. There it is again, coming after me. I need to set up breakfast or maybe a lunch or a dinner with our good friend who was recently released. He has been rejuvenated throughout the penal system here in Ohio. He should be doing all right now.
Well, I mean, there's I don't know who else to talk to who can get to the bottom of the situation.
Nobody. They're listening. They're always listening. We all know that. Now they're messing with my phone, trying to get me to record things. Like, you know how your phone's supposed to, if you hold up to your ear, it's supposed to go like dark and you can't hit the buttons. Well, mine decided to stop having that feature work. And so the recording situation comes on if I ever try to like switch my phone from Bluetooth up to my ear.
Have you ever thought that maybe like Laura installed some software on there so she can like record you all the time, on the camera and all that?
That would be cool, Bob, but I promise you she absolutely does not care at all to listen or hear anything that I am doing on my phone or whatever. Like she's not worried about anything like that. She's got her own life she's living.
I found this voyeur site where I could watch AJ Hawk do everything, like showers, bathroom, all that
cost
stuff.
A month?
It was actually only $5. It was amazing.
I mean,
First month
if you
only.
see that, I better get a cut of that, bud. That's how people are making all this money. All these OnlyFans people making $40 million a year. Some of the low earners. So maybe I can make some money.
It's all right. I mean, listen, coach the kids up. That's the next level. Why go to college and play sports? LeBron James didn't go to college, and look at him. So let's talk to the kids and see. Maybe OnlyFans is the way to go.
Yeah, not me, but like Bob, you could probably take pictures of your feet and make upwards of 6 figures a month.
My daughter said Foot Finder. Like she goes, I got great dogs. I said, okay, if that's what you want to do in life,
she didn't say that.
That was her great exact quote. Great quote. Great dogs. I said, okay.
Just a couple good, if you put in 18 good months, you could live healthy and happy the rest of your life. Probably the money you make.
Where's the FAC today?
Great question. Well, it's my son's birthday, actually, so
right there.
We're doing some fun stuff with him tonight. So, I'll be around here, a bunch of his buddies. We're going to be bouncing around doing some things. So, we'll see. Chopper, the originator of FAC, you never know. He's always floating. He's always looking to try to find out whose house is going to have it and where he's going to show up.
Topic of conversation to the FAC today, who is they and why are they after you? Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Big happy birthday to your son. Have a great weekend. We'll check in again soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. Let me know. Let me know if you figure out who they are. I'd love to know.
There he goes. AJ Hawk with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still watching a crash on the southeast side. 33 eastbound blocked off right near Pickerington Road. Westbound lanes also slow moving coming in from Lancaster. And here in the downtown area, I-71 southbound right lane blocked off just past the 71-670 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
85% of people will experience foot pain in their lifetime. Long-term remedies are scarce. Good Feet Art Supports from the Good Feet Store can help. They are designed to relieve common foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, and they also improve balance and comfort. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Getting cold feet? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
I'm Rick Reichert. Reichert Ford just wrapped up one of our biggest sales years in our history, so we're celebrating with the January kickoff sales event. And we're dealing. Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $599 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Or lease your 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also, 0 down. One of the largest Ford inventories in America. Over 1,000 new Fords on the ground and on the way, and it's all on sale. Plus, don't miss our 0 down programs. Available now. No other dealer in Columbus, in Ohio, or the entire country is dealing like this, period. So let's make 2025 another great year. Start with Reichert Ford's January kickoff sales event at the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Ends 2-3. Come in now.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
All right, we got a surprise for everybody. And I don't know how this came to fruition. It may be the largest hour we've ever had on this program. It started with Albert Breer at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Then we checked in with 3-time Super Bowl champion Matt Light. Then at 8:30, we checked in with AJ Hawk. And now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking in with National Championship head coach for The Ohio State University. He is Ryan Day. Coach, thanks for the time. What's going on? You running around here, driving around? What's happening?
Yeah, we're, it's been nonstop since the game. And, last kind of day or two on the road. Recruiting here in Ohio. I was listening to the show and I thought maybe I'd call in.
Absolutely, Coach. We really appreciate it. There's no rest for the weary. Have you had a night to be able to sit down just with Nina and the family and relax and kind of enjoy it all?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. It's a little bit of a, people have asked, have you been able to enjoy it yet? It's kind of a hybrid, where the game doesn't stop and we got to keep moving forward. But at the same time, we've had a few moments, had a few dinners to just kind of smile, enjoy, and take a deep breath. But, hoping, maybe throughout the month of February, once we get into the dead period, get everything organized with the staff, we'll be able to get away and spend a little bit more quality time together.
What has your travel schedule been like this week, Coach? Because I'm everywhere. Kelly Clarkson and then Jimmy Fallon, and you were on with Ernie and Chuck. Now, that looked like a Zoom call, but, how many miles have we logged this week?
Yeah, we've quite a few. Yeah, it started in New York City and kind of went all across the globe and up and down. But, but it's what we're trying to do is we're trying to really jam in, almost a month worth of recruiting in about 5 days or so, just because we ended so late. It's very unique because of how late the game was. So good problem to have, but still everyone's working hard on the staff.
You made the staff comment about trying to straighten that up. And what's the timeline on that defensive coordinator, obviously to replace Jim Knowles? As you look forward, last year, obviously the offensive coordinator situation, eventually landing on Chip Kelly. How pressing is that versus the recruiting that you're trying to do?
Yeah, so there's points in the recruiting cycle where it becomes, like you said, very pressing to get things done. We have signing day next Wednesday, but it's really not very significant for us. So we want to be thorough, make sure we're doing, what's right moving forward. But, we want to have as much continuity as we can. And I think I've learned that watching, guys like Nick Saban and, different coaches who have had success for extended periods of time, to make sure that you have continuity, in all three phases. So we want to do that. We feel great about the guys we have on staff, but we also want to make sure, we're looking at other options out there and being thorough in our search.
You said Coach Ryan Day with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Coach, what's your philosophy on guys taking interviews? And I know that you've popped around from place to place before we landed here in Columbus as quarterbacks coach, then coordinator, and then obviously to head coach. Your thoughts on letting your staff go and kind of take some interviews and get some experience with that?
Well, you feel like when you have an opportunity to and enhance, your career, then I think, it's great. And, there's certain opportunities, for guys that, you don't want to get in the way of. But at the same time, we have the best job in America here at Ohio State and the best place in America and the best fans and the best, players. And so, there's a lot of reasons to want to be a Buckeye. So, we certainly want guys who want to be here, but at the same time want to make sure that, you understand that, guys have earned opportunities to enhance their career.
And so, obviously, an unprecedented season. As we talk here to head coach Ryan Day, national champion out on the road recruiting, and it went longer than ever before. And I just saw the date released for the 2026 season, 27 game. I think that date, Ryan, is the 25th of January, so even further back. Trying to balance, obviously, all the mid-year guys came in that already committed. You had transfer portal guys come in. You've had a huge exodus of veteran players who are a huge part of that national title run. Trying to balance now getting guys, like Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Tegra Shabola, dudes who have played, some of the receivers have played a lot of snaps, having their leadership and then integrating the offseason with Mickey Marotti while also bringing along some of these young guys. The lot's been made. You saw they've done the videos of the first meeting last year of how you're going to go forward. Has that happened, and what has this offseason kind of been like so far, and what's it looking like?
Yeah, so I feel like we've really adapted well with some of the changes that have happened over the last, in particular last year, last 2 years. I feel like, Mick did a great job. We all, coaching staff and players did a great job of playing really fast down the stretch. I mean, we were fresh and we were playing fast and we were seeking contact late in the season. And I think that was very important. And so as you look at the number of games we played, it's very similar to an NFL schedule. So I think we need to look towards that model and make sure that, we're looking at it through that lens of, the entire year. When spring football, was the way it was, 10 years ago, spring football was, 16 or 15 hard practices. I think we need to take a look at that. Now, our young guys need work, but some of the older guys who have played a lot of football, we also have to make sure that they're a part of the team, they're with the team. We're not going to separate them, but we need to treat them a little bit different. That being said, though, even looking at the calendar, I really think, CFP needs to take a hard look at this calendar because, the fact that we had 145 guys on our team and incoming players and transfer guys coming in with our team for 2 weeks, I mean, there were some positive things there, but there was a lot of things that were challenging. And I really think we need to take a hard look at where we're playing this championship game and moving everything to where the season should be, over before classes start in the spring semester.
Coach, I know we're looking forward right now, and you're on the road, and you're in Ohio, and you're recruiting, and you're out there. As we look back onto the 4-game run, because Bob and I asked this question just to each other, and was there a moment that you felt like catapulted this team to what we saw kind of in the playoffs, and whether that was a great performance against Tennessee and then going to the Rose Bowl and handing it to Oregon, Jack's scoop and score, the big pass on 3rd down and 11 to Jeremiah? Like, was there a catapult moment that you felt like got you guys going in the right direction in these playoffs?
I think that when we came out of the tunnel against Tennessee, and we saw some orange out there, but we also felt our crowd. I mean, the crowd in that game, anyone who was at that game, that was the most wild atmosphere I've felt in the shoe. It was just a great atmosphere, and our guys embraced that moment right there. And just the way we came out of the tunnel, I just had this feeling like something special was about to happen, and the way we came out in that game. And but when that ball bounced up into Jack's hands the way it did in that moment, I knew we were going to win a national championship. I just, there's just times where, you got to keep swinging, and there's times where the ball doesn't bounce your way, and our motto all season has been leave no doubt, and being aggressive and throwing that ball on 3rd and 11 was our way of leaving no doubt. And it was a great run, but my favorite part of it all is just to see our players, but also just the fans. And I can't tell you how many people have had just great things that they've said to our family. They've reached out, the smile on people's face from across the country in Buckeye Nation. I mean, that's what this is all about. And, we're certainly working towards next year, but, there's a lot of, people that are so excited about how the season finished.
Coach, a lot of people say, great offensive mind, great quarterback coach. Your oldest son, RJ, I believe he's got his license now. After watching that young lady drive you into the wall, do you feel like you may even be a greater educator on the road for your son?
Yeah. I said, we just got done playing the national championship game and winning the national championship game. And it just brought me right back to, when I was in high school with a couple of my drunk buddies on a golf course running into a brick wall or something like this. But it was fun to watch Will and Cody laugh because, I think they saw my face and they couldn't stop laughing. It was crazy. And she was driving fast through the field. I mean, it was more stressful than the end of the game.
Absolutely. Coach, and one other thing, we had Albert Breer on earlier, and he tweeted out something. A bunch of people pushed out to it, and some people in the chat were just talking about it, trying to support your foundation with Nina. If you want to give a quick plug for that, that would be tremendous.
Yeah, we have two funds that we're very, very proud of. One is through Nationwide Children's and the Kids Mental Health Fund, which is very, very important for a lot of reasons. And what Nationwide Children's does in terms of being on the forefront of children's mental health, it affects everybody, and you don't quite understand until you're in the middle of it. And I think being a part of that is critical, and it's not a moneymaker. So philanthropy and people giving is really what drives it. And then the second one is really through the university, and what Dr. Luan Fawn is doing and building a case study for identifying what the risk factors are towards mental health, and what are the things that are causing some of the mental health issues across our country. And this is going to be a study that hopefully changes the way that we look at mental health for the next few decades. So both of those are tremendous, and we're proud to be a part of those things, and want to look forward to really taking the next step as we move into the next 5 to 7 years here at Ohio State.
It's tremendous. Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for giving us some of it today. Best of luck on the road recruiting. Thanks again. Big congratulations on the national championship, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
All right, boys. Thanks. Go Bucks.
There he goes. Ryan Day with us here. Surprise appearance. How many counties do you think he's been to in Ohio?
Oh, gosh. Coaches, they hit the 88 pretty quickly. Yeah. I mean, there's dudes from everywhere. If you're getting Matt Light from Greenville and you're getting guys from all over the corner, every corner there, you find them everywhere. Heck, Joe Burrow was from Athens, they come from all over the place, and just happy to have Ryan here. And I was more happy than anything when he said he will be in Columbus until they no longer want him here. Because, folks, we got a good one. And finally has the big stamp right in the middle of his resume with a national championship. But I want to tell you, make 2025 your year. Finally feel like yourself again. Don't just set goals. Get the medical team to help you support them. I'm talking about my friends at Affinity Whole Health. They're experts in the GLP-1s for the semaglutide, trizepatide, weight loss therapy, the TRT program that I've been on for years. Here's the best part. You go in, you go to Feel Great Columbus, you set up your free consultation, you go in there, they diagnose a plan and prescribe it directly to you. You leave there after figuring out a customized plan. They ship it right to your door. It's there within 2 days. Do not wait any longer. Make 2025 your year with Affinity Whole Health. Go to feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Bob, I had so much fun with you on this Friday. What do you say we reconvene Monday?
I'm taking it off. Can't reproduce this show, Bean.
No,
it was the best
can't.
hour in radio.
I don't know how we get better from here. Maybe we won't even try. Maybe we'll just retire. Everybody have an awesome weekend. Enjoy it. We'll talk to you on Monday. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still watching a crash on the southeast side. 33 eastbound blocked off right near Pickerington Road. Westbound lanes also slow moving coming in from Lancaster. And here in the downtown area, I-71 southbound right lane blocked off just past the 71-670 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
This action update is sponsored by Logan Services. Free furnace with the purchase of an AC. Hey, how about Buckeye Hoops? Let's go. 2.5-point underdog Penn State last night. Plus 125 on the money line. And they go in and win by 19. That makes 3 wins in a row. Blue Jackets also with the upset last night. Plus 240 on the money line, beating Vegas. What a night for your Logan Services action update. I'm Scotty Vegas.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron. Superheroes!
I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance